They even have fantasy stats you can choose whether or not the player will go higher or lower on. Get your entries right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. And your entry doesn't have to be all from the same game, doesn't even have to be from the same league. I love playing on Underdog. Download the app today. Use my promo code Anthony to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, that promo code.
7 o'clock in St. Louis, and you are listening to The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Jackson Burkett is on the ones and twos, and we welcome you to participate in our little nitwit circus by texting in to the Air Comfort Service text inbox 314-399-9646, by calling in where you can see if you can get through Chairman Kurt's filter, 314-974-0101. Collier and Thompson, sponsor of the phone lines. And, of course, you got the YouTube channel where friends gather. And, Doug, they wait for us.
Do they?
And then we appear, and then they talk it over for the next 4 hours. And then at 11:30, maybe 11:45, somewhere in there, Jackson and I will be doing the Tim McKernan Show podcast with special guest Ken Iggy Strode. In between there, I'll be doing the spread zone, in which I pick games inaccurately, but that's great for you because you just know to take the other team. Okay. So then you win.
All right,
I make picks, you pick the opposite, and you make money. Okay. I make picks, you pick the opposite, and then you make money.
You make the money.
Yeah, that's me, Stalter, and Riz. So there you go. There's my Stiefel dossier.
Seems like an easy formula. We'll wait on your picks then. And we'll do the opposite, and then we make money.
Yeah, no, it's just NFL picks, and I'll be real honest with you. I really don't know what the hell's going on there. But I'm not that interested.
I don't know that anybody does.
What about the Jags front seven? You like the pressure they're getting, Doug?
Well, they put their hands in the dirt, and they'll likely pin their ears back and get after the signal caller. I know they do that.
Concerned at all about the secondary play for the Eagles?
Secondary play for the Eagles is a different situation. Okay. That's a group that will come to play football. And they will cover you sometimes, and then other times they'll let you get open.
That's right.
And that's basically the story of the Eagles secondary.
Tim, I was home last night from the old 2 Fox, and then my wife said, "Oh, Iggy won an award." I said, "I'm sorry?" She played a video, and it was Iggy, and I said, "Oh, he's doing a bit." He was doing a bit.
Oh, sketches and bits.
Yes.
What award did he win?
He won the USGA Peace Award. I believe it was a spoof on Trump getting a FIFA award, but she was very proud of it.
Was this on the Twitter tweets?
I might have been Facebook. I don't know, but she said,
"What's going on here?" I better do show prep for QFTA today.
Well, she was very, very excited about him getting an award, and then I said, "Actually, I think he's doing material."
Text me, and I'll talk dirty to you.
There's an option.
Wow.
After we're done with QFTA.
So you can congratulate him at your own risk.
We welcome you to participate in a wide variety of ways. The top text says, "I'm excited for Arch Madness at Enterprise Center in March. Go Salukis," Doug. Okay. And I know you said that was the lead today.
I think it might be, because otherwise I'm not going to be much good to you after a disappointing Blues defeat. although we're still just 2 points out of the final wild card. When you can lose like that at home, give up 5 out of 6 goals there, you got to think that you're playoff material. They were just horrendous in the second period.
They enjoy bad second periods.
Awful.
They enjoy a good, bad second period.
It was
3
like
shots.
It was like Boston was on the power play, 5-on-5. It looked like Boston had the man advantage. They controlled it almost the entire period. And when the Blues would get the puck, they'd dump it in the other way and then go change lines and then get back on defense. That was their period. I don't get it.
And when they play a good second period, it's like a big celebration. Like, wow, how about that? What happened tonight? Look at that. You guys were good in the second. Whatever it does happen, it's a big deal. I thought Montgomery's postgame, he didn't say effort, which he did last week. But a lot of it was about hustling, out-muscling, just kind of the will, the desire. I felt like he was pointing to effort. Even though they're a little shorthanded, I felt like all of his comments refer back to effort.
He did talk about specifically that second period. Here is the Blues head coach.
You know, we turned the puck over too much in the last 10 minutes of first, and we talked about putting it to the goal line and being able to play a little more in their end. And I think we were a little loose with the puck, and our angling above the puck was not where it needed to be. So it gave them a lot of momentum going towards their net.
Angling of the puck. I didn't even think about that. But
That was the second period synopsis?
the angling of the puck.
Who knew?
Okay. I just thought they looked like they were content to try to sit on a 1-0 lead. The offensive aggression just not there at all. And it makes a difference when you don't have Kyrou and Snuggerud both. It does.
I will say the recall of all coaches and managers, like in a game, like if any of us were coaching or managing, we'd probably look away or check our phone for a text or a tweet and just miss the big. Each coach, each manager will say, well, what happened there? He had his head down and then he skated over to the left, and I think so-and-so had a shot at the puck, but then he got nicked a little bit, then it went up the boards. The amount of detail they have immediately after a game is amazing.
Yeah. And how they remember it all.
If you guys insist on talking about the Blues, fine. But enough with talking about the playoff talk.
That's from Jesse Spano's Dealer. That was Elizabeth Berkley's character on Saved by the Bell. She was a guest on the show. We were specifically told not to bring up the film Showgirls. Doug, you did so anyway because you're a rebel.
I didn't, did I?
And I think the PR person then appeared on the call and scolded us.
That is the best. When they chime in, they're monitoring the call. But when they chime in, I think we had a great Iggy call. It was Steve Shariffa from The Sopranos.
Yeah, Bobby Bacalari.
I believe over
Unfortunate
the
train
air,
obsession.
over the air, the audience, they think that we're kind of insiders and we're just palling around with a guy from The Sopranos. And then you hear a third voice, Tim, that just says, we're going to need to wrap this up over the air. Nothing more humiliating.
Why couldn't he just tell his guy that they needed to wrap it up? And then he could say, all right, guys, it's been good talking with you. You got to run.
Well,
That might have been nicer.
then you visualize the guest looking at the PR person doing like throat
Cut it
slash.
off enough. I don't want to live in a world where the Blues are the lead when they're 7 games under 500. That's from Mr. Licks, Doug.
2 out of a playoff spot, 2.
Is that the Vaughn Index or is that the
Vaughn, I'd
standings?
have to recalculate the Vaughn Index.
By the way, why do we say 500 and not 50? That's from Mr. Licks. And he also says Casey Smith is a blowhard, Doug.
I can't speak to that. Casey Smith is a blowhard?
Martin, do you share Mr. Licks' opinion?
Not aware.
Let me Google Casey Smith.
She's a Barstool college football host.
Oh, okay.
Somehow that escaped my
Yeah,
wheelhouse.
me too. But she's a blowhard, I understand.
Per Mr. Licks. You can
Okay.
call in Mr. Licks on Casey Smith. 314-974-0101. Chairman Kurt is standing by. Talk it
If
over
Licks
with our
calls, then
teams.
maybe Holiday will call. That would be nice.
That's right. A Licks call leads to a Matt Holiday call. All right.
Okay. Well, that'd be a treat.
Well, we should put it in the dossier.
Heimblum's spreadsheet says we're only 2 points out of getting smoked by Colorado in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, there is that.
I would prefer that than not getting the playoffs. At least it was a week and a half, 2 weeks of entertainment.
Doug's favorite college basketball team won last night. UConn. That's from the Devil's Crotch
I
in the
don't like
Michelob
UConn.
Ultra YouTube chat.
It's the one team I don't like. I didn't
Danny
like
Hurley.
Jimmy Calhoun, and I don't like Danny Hurley. I don't like either one of them. 2 of the most obnoxious coaches to ever grace the sporting stage in this country. I mean, really obnoxious people, aren't they?
You think it's a requirement at UConn?
It must be.
How's that Gino Auriemma? He could probably get a little banty at times.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, they're banty in Stores.
What is it up there?
Jackson, have you been to Stores? That strikes me as a place that you might have a home.
No. South of Stores, though, for sure. Several.
Several homes?
I think Dan Hurley is great for college basketball.
Why?
It's good to have villains.
Yeah.
It's good to have guys to root against.
Why is it good to have a guy misbehaving?
I mean, he gets really fired up, but if the referees think he's misbehaving, they can give him a technical.
But why is it good to be a jerk?
I don't know that he's like angry and passionate, but I don't think he's like, I don't know if he's necessarily like mean to people all the time. Like jerk, I think might be a little strong.
He's
I
a
think
jerk
he comes
to the officials.
Yeah, for sure. And then if they think it's too much, they give him a T.
They're humans too.
For sure, I get it. But I like the passion, and I think it's good to have some villains in college basketball.
So, like,
and his track record, I mean, went back to back. Like,
no, he wins.
Proof's in the pudding.
He wins, and they play big games.
Yeah,
well, Bobby Knight won too, but
sure,
was it good that he was?
But I think
being mean and throwing chairs and screaming at people.
But he got physical with players. Like that's there. I think there's even at the crazy level, there is a line too. But I get what you're saying, Doug. I respect it.
You don't have to be like that.
No, I agree.
Krzyzewski was never like that.
I agree.
Dean Smith, never like that.
Different strokes, different styles.
You can be a decent person and still be a great
Again,
coach.
I just don't know if saying he's an indecent person is accurate.
He comes across as the biggest jerk in the world.
You like Indecent Proposal?
I don't know if I've ever fully seen it.
I don't know what goes on with Movie Boy.
It's tough. There's a lot of things to watch out there.
I mean, at your age, if you're really into cinema, you have a lot of catching up to do. It's not your fault.
It's hard.
So it's, Gone with the Wind. Thoughts?
I saw that in class.
Okay.
Class.
Yeah, I watched Civil War class, my favorite class ever.
Well, Shelby Foote, the professor.
That's the teacher taking a holiday there.
It was like
a class. I'm getting paid $250,000 to teach this class. Watch this movie.
It wasn't at college. It was in high school. It was like a senior elective kind of thing.
And did they roll in the little cart that had the monitor on top of the cart? Just kind of every teacher had a little cart off to the side. They would roll in front for everybody to watch.
With like a television?
Yeah.
I graduated in 2016, so I think we
moved
past the rolling cart.
This guy just old shamed.
I didn't mean to do that.
Hurley.
Not only, but I also went to Ladue. It's nice.
Bo! You catch that? I also went to Ladue. They're making an observation in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat that the Blues are 11-20 and have the worst goal differential in the NHL. Why are we talking about this team?
Because we're right there in the playoff hunt. Right there, I'm telling you. A minus 30 goal differential. That's going to change the Vaughn index. Let's see. The Vaughn index has him right at a 29.
That's a point total.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually how it works out. Not always.
It'll be a showdown with the other team that's just right there at the cellar with the Blues. 3 points back, the Nashville Predators, Doug. You'll get that tomorrow night at Nashville, and then the Blues head right back to St. Louis for the second. 4 straight against their division here in the middle of December.
Now, why are we talking in that voice?
Because we're setting the stage. When you set the stage, you try to be folksy.
All right. I got you.
And my deep, seductive voice is not folksy. It's dominant. But I know we have a lot of subs in the audience, and I think that's the thing that activates their dopamine hits. Am I right on that? Have you seen?
Our audience is full of subs?
Clip that off. Movie Boy, what are your thoughts on Boyhood? That's Tad from Tennessee. Doug, the listeners are now asking for Jackson's thoughts on film.
Okay.
That's why Movie Boy exists, Martin.
That's right. I love Richard Linklater. It's one of my favorites.
Art Linklater.
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused. School of Rock. I just did a podcast 2-3 weeks ago about Richard Linklater. I like Boyhood a lot. I like the achievement of it. It's not something I watch a lot.
Do you like that? I like
the achievement of it.
Look,
come on.
It's
that is such a cinema.
It's shot over like 15 years. It's impressive. It's literally it's Boyhood. It's filming a family from the start to the end. I think it's really cool. I think it's a testament to his passion, but it's not something I revisit a lot. So it's my take. But I love Richard Linklater. It's one of my favorites.
You love the idea
Yes.
The effort put into it.
Similar to, Marshy asked me about this the other day, the film 1917. Did you ever see the film 1917?
Was that a one-camera shoot?
It was a World War I movie that's shot as a oneer, made to look like one continuous shot.
It's really good for a while, then it gets kind of nuts.
Yeah, right. So I think that's another one where it's like an incredible achievement to do something like that, but not something that is super resonant. I know they probably didn't have much interest in that deep of thought of mine, but that's my answer.
We watched House of Gucci yesterday.
Tough.
It was all right.
Ridley Scott kind of flailing in the last 10 years.
I thought it was all right. I like that Adam Driver.
Sure, I love that Adam Driver.
And then Al Pacino comes on, who is Italian.
Yeah.
And his accent seemed to be the worst of all.
Tough accent across the board. Jared Leto has a very odd accent in it.
Weird character.
Weird guy.
Doug, I didn't know you did a film. MD 2020 says I prefer Doug's manhood to boyhood. So that's an option.
I did that in college, and I was desperate for money.
Where can we see
It
it?
was an easy buck. I regret it now. I thought I destroyed all the negatives.
The 101 audience is screaming at their tape decks right now. That's right, Mr. Mudjack Mike, because the co-founder of the Fairmount Parks Player Club not happy with any movie boy discussion. Yawn!
Oh.
Dude, we get it. You work out, guy.
You think that gentleman's working out? I don't know. And he just stopped to text in because he wants to hear more about the second period last night of the second to last place team in the Central, who has the worst goal differential in the NHL?
Yeah, in my mind, that's what that guy was doing.
Got it.
I'd like to hear from anybody right now. Just text in if you're currently at the gym, working out, taking in this show.
I bet a lot of people are.
You think?
When you say a lot, what percentage are we talking about?
Of the listening audience at this very moment? Good. 2%.
Okay, well, I wouldn't call that a lot, but I wanted to get an idea. So 1 out of 50 listeners right now is at the gym working out.
Well, come on, they are not.
Well, let's say you go to work at 9 and you wake, but you might have some young children, so you're already up early. You might go to the gym before work, and while you're doing it, on the way there, you're listening, and then you throw on the earbuds and you're listening while you lift. I could see that being the case for a lot of people.
2% of the audience.
Yeah, I bet around from now till about 8:30. That's plenty of people's routines.
I'd like to find just 2 people doing that, much less 2%. When you go to the gym, it's usually music that you have in the earbuds. Isn't
And chasing filler. Chasing filler.
Chasing filler. What the hell's that mean? Chasing filler. Chasing filler.
He's annoyed. Doug's annoyed with that.
I'm working out in my bedroom, thinking of Tim and how incredible he is. Doug, that's from Daddy Likey. Not Daddy Padre, because he's on his way to Nashville, but Daddy Likey.
Okay.
Bro, who goes to work at 9? That's from Tracy Woodson.
I don't know. Is 9 to 5? I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty
Dolly
common.
Parton? Am I right? Dolly Parton?
It's a common
Yes.
thing.
Jane Fonda?
Yeah. And Dabney Coleman.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the boss?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
But 9 to 5, that's like a standard American work day. So that's why I said 9.
Now, Kurt gets up early and works out, but I've never in my life thought about working out before I went to work.
But you've always worked, well, radio-wise, you've always worked pretty early.
Well, I didn't do radio for the first 30 years of my career.
But you're just naturally athletic.
Oh, sure.
Right.
A body chiseled out of granite. Didn't need a whole lot of work.
I am guilty of listening to this show while I work out in the morning. That's from the 636. Here you go,
Really?
Jackson.
It's not a crime. It's good on you, I say.
These fat mouth breathers don't work out. They're in the drive-through listening. That's from Ray King.
I can see that as well.
Jackson is spot on. That's me. Look at this.
Yeah,
That's
I
from
think
the PE legend.
I think a lot of people like to get that workout done before their day. They feel like they've accomplished something early in the day if they can work out. Kurt, I know that's kind of how you
That's what Marky
operate.
Mark does.
Marky Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does it at like 2:50 a.m.
He goes to bed at 6:30, and I think he does it at 3.
Yeah, there was some James
2:53.
Corden thing that he did with him, some special where he worked out with him at 3 in the morning and said it was the most ridiculous thing he'd ever seen in his entire life.
But why does that clock work for you? 6:30 to bed, 3:30?
Some people like the circadian rhythm thing of going to sleep when the sun goes down and rising when it rises.
Oh, is that right?
So some people like to do that. That's like...
Did they adjust in summertime? I know I'm asking you, and that's
I
not
don't
fair
know.
crowdsourcing.
Not really sure. I know that's just some people, like how they like to think about
Think
it.
of everything you miss by going to bed at 6:30 at night.
A lot of ball. Missing a lot of
Just
ball.
a lot of everything.
Sappho's.
I think when you're getting up that early to work out, you're kind of doing it to impress yourself.
Yeah.
It's because sleep is important, too.
Amen.
And wouldn't you be better off kind of enjoying a social life at least in the early evening hours and getting up when the rest of the world is asleep? I don't get that.
Would never be my routine, that's for sure.
Some people care about our bodies, Doug.
For heaven's sakes.
Guy who comes in at 9 is the 42-year-old who's still in an entry-level position. That's from the Hunchback of Vaughn Castle. Is that correct?
Still at an entry-level position. Well, I know something about that.
Jackson, your 9 o'clock work thing is the thing that's getting lit up the most.
I did that as just like a standard, like 9 to 5 is what people consider business hours.
Right.
So that's just what I said. Some people I know a lot of people, most people probably go to work earlier. But I don't know. I felt like that wasn't crazy to say 9 a.m.
No, it isn't crazy.
Of course, a lot of people early on, Tim pointed out they were going to the bathroom while listening to the show.
Yeah, that's
What a compliment.
Certainly.
Compliment.
Doug, Lily Tomlin was also in 9 to 5. Possible surprise guest, do you think?
Boy, that feels like an Iggy phone number coming my way here any minute.
Maybe I'll ask him for it when he's in here in a few hours.
She was in 9 to 5. Was she the operator on SNL, that whole skit?
Was that her sketch?
Or was that Carol Burnett? Was that where she did a whole thing where she was plugging in the phone calls, Doug?
Yeah.
Is that Lily Tomlin?
Yeah, one ringy dingy, two. Yeah, that was Lily
I don't
Tomlin.
know what else she
She also
did.
had an act where she had an enormous rocking chair and she played a little kid, talk like a child.
Yeah. Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know.
She's married to Jane Wagner,
To Jane.
Who is Jane Wagner?
an American writer, director, and producer.
Oh, of course.
Workout before work? I'm a fat, Papers. I get to work at 6 a.m. and immediately booze afterwards. My life's great. 9 to 5, pull your head out of your ass, boy. That's from the Kansas City Hoosier.
Oh.
I think when people heard me, they thought I was talking specifically about them, and that would be incorrect. I was making a generalization.
It is kind of a Hoosier way of life to get to work early and then start drinking the second it's over.
Quitting time, you know?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I was in traffic yesterday at around 4 o'clock. I was off the 2 Fox. And I was looking at all the traffic, and I said to my wife, this is probably why people do go out for beers after work, just to avoid traffic.
Yeah, that's a nice observation.
Like, if there's a bar near your work, I don't care what you do.
Like if you work in Clayton.
Yeah, I don't care where. Of course, he goes Clayton right away, this guy.
God, Central Quarter all the way.
Oakville, Florissant, wherever you work. If you get out and there's Doug, you call it a watering hole.
Yeah, watering hole.
Tavern.
Stop in there, you burn about an hour and a half to 2 hours. All of that traffic's gone.
And then you come out and you're feeling good about life.
Yeah, and then you're drunk driving on the way home.
Well, hopefully you're responsibly imbibing.
Some people go to the gym early, so nothing in the day stops them from going there. There's nothing wrong with that. A friend's husband gets up every day at 4:30 to go. There's a very good chance you'd find me at the gym listening. Haven't been there in the past, but not today. Recovering from a thing for a few weeks. Let's go Blues. That's Sharon and Clayton.
Huh.
All right.
I'll be darned.
Some people also don't like to go around 4:30 or 5. A lot of people there. Very high traffic time for the gym.
Chasing that filler.
Yeah, chasing that filler.
Yeah. Why do we have to put our hands up in the
all right,
air?
let's workshop.
our hands up
Explain,
in the
Doug
air,
and I.
chasing that
The
fella.
olds are lost.
What in the world is going on?
Sometimes gyms can be a scene if you can't get in front of Han.
In front of Han? Now, what does that mean?
It's refreshing to see rich white women.
I got to get Phila up there. I can't see Han. What in the hell is going on?
And so the place to chase that ass is on a more daily basis because you can't get there on Friday night and Saturday night with Han. And so then you go.
Who's Han?
And then you go and you chase that filler. And the filler's going to be there more in that 3 to 6 p.m. range.
Rest in peace, Stan. Rest in peace, Stan.
Yeah, same vibe.
Sharon, shut up!
Oh,
It's a big tough.
Hey, Kurt just sent me Lily Tomlin's phone number.
oh, really?
You have Lily Tomlin's phone number? How do you have Lily Tomlin's phone number?
I acquired it.
Wow.
Well, that's vague.
It's an
Mergers and acquisitions.
Gotta say, it's probably a little early if we're looking at California time. Although, if we call her and we wake her up, we say, "Hey, Wahlberg's up,"
Yeah,
Right.
she is
Working out.
86 years old.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
and her wife is 90. I just
Yeah.
saw.
Yep.
So maybe they're up early.
Maybe.
Because old people get up early, but then when they get really old, they sleep late. There's kind of a window there.
Oh, they're right, Ron.
And go to bed early.
Like, I see your dad, Tim, not old, of course. I see him as an early riser still.
I don't think so.
Okay, so there was a moment where he crossed over, and now he's like, forget it.
I mean, what would you consider early riser?
That's a good question.
6 to 7?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Old days for sure.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, the deal was when he was running the sales departments at KPLR TV way back in the day, and then KFNS, Doug was at 98 to 2004.
20 years, Tim.
That they had sales meetings every day at 7:30, and like Tom Coughlin with the New York Giants, if you got in there at 7:30 and 1 second the door was locked and too effing bad, and then it was on. Pack a lunch. We'd be doing the show, and we could hear him yelling in the back.
Glenn Ross was based on the McKernan meetings.
Sweet mother of mercy. But to his credit, they sold the thing for $13 million. Yeah.
Proof's in the pudding there.
All right, get involved. 314-399-9646. Early gym goers are looking to cheat. It's big infidelity hours?
I don't know.
So the hunchback. So it's the early gym hours that chasing Phila?
I don't think so.
Really?
I think people there early are actually looking to
I would
get in
think
shape.
that as well, but we're here entertaining millions on this show, so I wouldn't know.
And I'm not saying that people who go around 4 or 5 aren't trying to get in shape. That's a very common time for people to go to the gym. I just think that's the highest traffic time.
4 to 5 is the highest traffic
for gyms?
4 to 6.
I would agree with that.
No,
I think that's too early.
I'm talking about PM.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you meant AM.
No,
oh,
sir.
my goodness.
PM.
Okay.
After work crowd.
Yes.
I know with my silver sneakers card at Lifetime, I can't get in after 3.
Is that right?
Because it's so crowded. Yeah.
You have the, I don't want to say it, but you have the old man pass.
Yes. It's free.
Early bird special.
It's free.
Really?
Yeah.
Sneakers.
But the deal is you can go in low traffic times.
Yeah. Okay.
And after 3, they say, you're not getting in here, old
So
man.
if you're in there at 3,
they say, sorry,
they
your
come
card
with
didn't work.
like a Broadway play with a hook and pull you out of there.
Sharon's text provides zero value to this show. No one cares about how she used to get up for the gym and now has cellulite. That's from the beer rower. How does he know?
That's not kind.
How does he know?
No, he doesn't know.
I'm a solid St. Louis 9.
I think that's right. I agree with Charlie on that. That's the magic of height. If you're, what do you think Charlie is, Martin? 6'2", 6'3"? Hell, I don't know.
I say 6'3".
I think he's a tick over me. 6'3.5", maybe 6'3", a solid 6'3".
And I know the audience now is 63% women, Doug. That is how many women listen to this
Maybe
show.
63 women.
But I think if we had ladies, Sharon, who's being chastised by texters, but text in. If you got a guy and he looks decent, but he's 5'8", and then you got that same guy and he's 6'3", he increases by minimum 33% in the attractive meter. I feel very confident with that as somebody who would be the 5'8" guy with lifts, by the way, without the lifts, 5'1".
5'1"?
Yeah, these are
7-inch
stiletto lifts.
Wow.
Stiletto lifts.
If you were a stiff breeze would knock him over.
So today the hawk is up.
Boy, ever.
I fell over 3 times on my stiletto lift.
Way into the building.
Crawled in.
We looked out. He's like tumbleweeds blowing across the parking lot.
Considering the monthly dues at Lifetime, Doug, I'd take a silver sneakers pass any day of the week. That's Sharon and Clayton.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's a great deal. You get it with your health care. They figure if you're going to the gym, maybe you're less likely to run up the insurance bills.
Back in the day, the Mang, Albert Pujols, would work out at the Lifetime on Clarkson. We belonged there for a little while. He'd be on the elliptical. I'm like,
all right.
Probably could have one at home.
I would think.
It was interesting because I felt like he didn't really want people bothering him. But you're in a building now with about 500 people, and everybody in the building's like, there's Albert Pujols over there on the elliptical.
Maybe he liked that.
I don't know why else you would do it.
See, now the ladies are chiming in with my observation. Again, here is today's master's thesis for somebody that's 8 hours shy of a bachelor's degree in journalism, which is about 90 hours shy of a real degree. If a gentleman is 5'8", with a nice to above average face, that gentleman's attractiveness goes up 25 to 33% if the gentleman is 6'3". That's my master's thesis, and I think it's a hill I'll die on. I feel real good about it. And Aaron King Photography texts in. And sometimes that makes me think that's not the name she submitted to Jackson. Sometimes this happens, Martin, like Grape Ape Auto Detailing, where their Google accounts are tied to their business. Aaron King Photography. She says, Haunted.
She started with honey?
No. Haunted.
Oh, on it. I got to learn to talk again.
The emoji?
That's correct.
Okay, got it.
The kids call it face card. Doug, what about face card?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, really? So that even goes below your...
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
And what is that?
Is that like when the flop has a lot of paint?
The flop has a lot of paint. I'm going to walk out the door and come back in and see if people are talking English when I sit down.
You need a decoder ring, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Caller Ellen says, I'd take 5'8" all day long. Oh, I just blew up my master's thesis.
You think the height thing goes back to something that's deeply embedded in our genes all the way back to the caveman era where women maybe were attracted to men that might be able to better protect them?
Survival of the fittest.
Larger men meant maybe better protection.
But what about Joe Pesci in Casino?
It had very little to do with the caveman scene.
But what about it?
What? That was just my take. And that maybe humans have been programmed from centuries ago for the women to want someone who can best protect them. And so they're looking for larger gentlemen.
Erin is real. She's a member at my country club. How the hell?
What?
Doug, are we doing this show for like 5 people?
It seems like it.
Erin is back. Damn it, Jackson. It's Mrs. King. Remember the dead husband? Doug?
What?
I'm just reading what Erin is sending in of Erin King photography. Damn it, Jackson. It's Mrs. King. Remember the dead husband.
Remember the dead husband. I don't want to be disrespectful.
She called in a few months ago. Her husband was a longtime listener.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And Jackson was disrespectful.
I don't...
I do now. I recall because she, I believe, was driving carpool while calling us.
Yes,
out in Cotterville.
Okay, so sometimes yes, if it looks like this is a situation where your actual Google account is used to
is
text
also
in,
your name.
so that's
Grape
not me.
auto detailing. We also
prime
had
example.
pastors who would write in unfortunate things, not realizing their church was showing up, and we thought they were doing a bit, and it turned out it was really their church.
Yeah, it's always awkward.
And I believe her story, Erin's story, not the pastor's. Her husband listened to the show. He has since passed, but then she gravitated towards TMA as well.
That's correct. Nice, Martin.
I actually can't even change your text name because of that. Because
it's tied to a Google account?
Yeah.
That's a bad beat. Face card, Doug, is like a credit card. It has currency. Some people smile, and then their face card declines. That's from the clever name texter.
Their face card declines when they smile.
That's what that means.
Because they don't have a good smile?
I guess so.
How many people look worse when they're smiling? That's unusual.
Jackson, do you have that number?
Most people look much better when they smile.
If you have, like, jacked up teeth.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Keep your lips closed then.
It's like Jewel, but she got them fixed, right?
I suspect she did.
Yeah. Lauren Hutton did not.
Oh, yeah.
With the gap. She and David Letterman had the gap.
Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan.
Is there one more? We can get them out Rushmore.
I think there is. Oh, who are we forgetting on the gap?
Someone like a snaggletooth of some sort?
No, this is more the gaps. Lauren Hutton, David Letterman, Michael Strahan.
Steve Buscemi.
He's just got kind of odd-looking teeth. Yeah.
He's just an interesting looking fella, period.
Yeah.
Okay. Holy crap, Erin did pictures for us years ago. This is crazy. That's from William B. Hung.
Erin did pictures for us.
Yeah. Erin King Photography.
Oh.
Whose name can't even be changed, even if Jackson tries to change it over there.
Can't do it.
What that?
Elijah Wood. Does he have gap tooth? Eddie Murphy. Kind of a gap tooth.
Yeah.
Doug, I thought Jules' crooked teeth was kind of sexy. That's from the 636.
Okay. Well, thanks for telling me. It's important that I know that.
I think this text sums it up at 7:30. The Baldwin Bandit said, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
Chopping it up.
Yep.
JR will be here. We'll talk hockey a little later.
That's at 9 o'clock on your Stiefel dossier.
I think it's 8:50.
Oh.
8:50.
What, does he have a heart out?
I assume.
Oh, so this was just you saying 8:50.
I texted him 8:50. I know he usually records the Last Minute Blues podcast with Donnie Fandango and Alex Ferrario following his appearance on TMA. So 8:50 to about 9:18 is our usual window.
Yep.
So I think that'll be the same today.
All right. Well, if you do have a tooth situation that you want to get tended to, I'd recommend Dr. Brandon Pryor at 100 West Dental. His office is on Manchester and Baldwin. You walk in there, oh my goodness. You're going, is this really a dentist's office? It's a different operation there. I'm telling you that. That's because they have the most modern technology with the patient's experience at the forefront of their minds and how they design it and how they conduct their practice. Online, 100westdental.com, 100westdental.com. No dental insurance, that's not a problem. 100 West Dental has a membership plan that will help you with the cost of dental work for those that don't have dental insurance. No phone calls needed to get in. Just go to 100westdental.com, check the calendar online for availability, and book right then and there. And if you're interested in Invisalign, give them my name, and you are going to get $1,000 off Invisalign at 100 West Dental. It's 100westdental.com. Interested in Invisalign, give them my name, and you'll get $1,000 off 100westdental.com. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. And you can talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Doug, we are now up to 6,310 subscribers.
Nice.
You just wanted 6,300 this week.
Did, yeah.
Here we are on Wednesday. We're at 6,310. I don't know what our next benchmark is. Is it 1 million?
How about 6,350?
Nice.
How about that?
Somewhere in between 6,350 and 1 million. That's what we're looking for. Subscribe to the TMA page, and you can be in there with AJM57. Chairman Kurt's talking it over with the listeners. And Deep Voice Dude is in there talking to the Walrus King. So they're all in there talking it over. It's brought to you by Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. Only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra, sponsor of the YouTube chat. This is TMA, presented by Brandon Crippen on 101 ESPN.
Robert Thomas, a couple of goals last night. You see him in those commercials for Auto Loan Pro on the website as well, autoloanpro.com. And what is it about? It's about getting you into a new vehicle with little to no money down, best rate possible, no matter what your situation, no matter what your circumstance. This is what they are all about. Find the car online, and then they'll find a lender for you. They work with over 50 different lenders to make sure you get the best financing no matter what your situation is. The only thing you need to know when financing a car is to choose the pro, autoloanpro.com. They are part of the Lita family. Get online, download the free playbook. That will educate you on how to get the car of your choice in the future. They can help you get your credit back on track and get you into a new vehicle, because anyone can sell you a car, but it takes a pro to do it right. Making that large purchase with financing can get complicated. Auto Loan Pro is going to help you get into that vehicle. 50 different lenders, making sure you get the best financing possible. Get online. Find that next vehicle at autoloanpro.com.
Ween Wednesday. This is going to put it in perspective after a loss to the Bruins.
It should.
I make notes all the time. And every once in a while, a good surprise guest, I'll think, that wouldn't be. And I'll just send myself a note, and then I review it. Like a week later, I'll look at all my old notes, and it'll just say Ween. And I'm like, what was this? Oh, okay. So when they call in, don't be surprised.
Dean and Gene.
Oh, wow.
You never know which one.
Haunting.
Hauntingly beautiful.
I'd say.
Doug, winter meetings are underway. Jackson and I lost a lot of money yesterday as we bet the over on 0.5 for a Cardinal trade, and we were not handsomely rewarded. But there is a lot of talk of trades with the Cardinals at the winter meetings. Chaim Bloom talking about the Nolan Arenado situation and the awkward nature of it.
This is on MLB Network.
Okay, love to hear it. Hit the lever, please.
We've been open about this really for a while now. Nolan and I had some great conversations as we were getting toward the end of the season. You know, we sat down for a while that last weekend in Chicago and to talk through everything. And I think we're on the same page to where it really makes sense for everybody to find a different fit. And we're going to do that. You know, obviously, until it happens, I understand the question. I understand why it would be asked. But we will find that something that's going to work for us, something that will work for him. And, you know, releasing him really just isn't something that's...
Well, the reason I asked the question, I was actually at the game when it looked like his last game at Busch Stadium. So if he is the opening day third baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals, this would be the first time in history I ever saw a future Hall of Famer in the middle of a game get removed from a game, have everyone give him a standing ovation. I mean, this is what I witnessed. And then him come back. Would that be an awkward, I don't want to say, you know, reuniting, but it would feel that way after what I witnessed there.
Well, you know, they always say you can go to the ballpark, you might see something you've never seen. And that's the beauty of baseball. But, you know, I actually don't think that is going to happen. Obviously, you know, we keep talking about this again. I understand it. Until it happens, we're going to keep talking about it. But, you know, whenever it happens during the course of this offseason, we do think it's something that makes sense for everybody. This guy still has a bunch of baseball left. It's just in the situation he's in, where he's at in his career, where we're at, we're building towards, the young players that we need to create playing time for. It just makes sense for everybody. So we're going to keep working on that, and eventually we'll find it. I understand until we do, we're going to keep talking about it, and that's okay.
Okay.
Doug, what do you think?
I'm not sure we heard anything there that we didn't already know.
Wow. Jackson?
I mean, he's saying that we're going to try to move him. That's all he's saying is we're going to try to move him. I think we all knew that.
And to Greg's
not
question,
release him. I think that's the specific part.
But I don't think there's a chance we'll have that situation play out that he's talking about, Greg Amser. I don't think you're going to see Nolan on opening day.
Chaim Bloom is being as straightforward as possible for something that I don't know if it's resonating with a portion of the fan base. I don't think this is a case of like a handful. I think there's a healthy portion of people who thought or maybe still think that once John Mozeliak was out, that he was the one holding back from the team being aggressive. And he is saying, Nolan Arenado, now I think most of us probably disagree with this, and I think internally Nolan Arenado probably disagrees with it, but Nolan Arenado has a lot of baseball left, but for where he is and what he wants and for where we are, these are his words, we just played, and what we're trying to build toward the future and get people playing time, it makes sense for us to go in a different direction. And I still think there is a portion of the fan base that is, and I think it's a decent portion of the fan base. I don't know how many are like listeners like this program that thinks that they're going to flip the switch and get aggressive, and now what the hell are they doing? There is a process, and the process is it's going to take some time. And considering the state of the game and where things are with the potential for a work stoppage following 2026, I think that makes sense. It might not necessarily be popular if you want short-term gratification, but I think it is the right move. The thing that I would disagree with is I think it probably should have began at the trade deadline in 2023, and we would be much further down the road. Thank you for coming to today's program. God bless America.
Huh.
It was a Tim talk.
That's right.
Said a little Tim talk.
Timmy talks.
Bloom has to say that he thinks Arenado's got some baseball left in him because he doesn't want to say, no, this guy's done. Now let me go make some phone calls, see if I can trade him. He's not going to kill his value completely. But it is amazing how he has fallen off the side of a cliff with his numbers. Talking about Arenado.
Yeah.
This last year, he hit 237.
Nice.
12 home runs. That's a lot for a guy making, $30 million a year? $35 million? It was just a couple years ago he was third in the MVP voting. It just makes me wonder if he's not still fighting some kind of injury. Because he's 34? He's 34.
Could be career wear and tear, too,
40.
playing third.
I guess
I just wonder if
be,
it's not a specific injury, but maybe career wear and tear. But I do think he'll be gone.
Bloom being the mouthpiece is super refreshing. The messaging is different, and I love it. That's from Jackson's lone wispy pube.
Yeah. Yeah, he comes across as very friendly, very open.
Right, and then the text right after that from listening to Bloom. I like him. He's not monotone, and he actually sounds like he's putting in effort. That's from the 618.
And in that job, it may not matter if you're really good at player acquisition, player evaluation, and you can build a great roster. You could be a dud and have a great team, but it helps, especially when you're going through this transition, if the guy can get up there and message and make a little joke about, hey, they always say you go to the ballpark, you never know what you'll see, about Arenado potentially returning. If you can sell it a little bit, I do think there's some extra value. And it's much needed right now for this team.
Bad beat for the Cardinals yesterday that they got the 13th pick. The lottery was selected. Ray Langford on the stage for the Cardinals. Yeah. And the math was they had the 8th lottery. And unfortunately, when they drew, they got 13th. Bad beat.
Can't catch a break. Now, when Arenado leaves, is it just assumed that Gorman is the guy now? Gorman's your third baseman? He's coming off a season where he hit 205. The year before that, he hit 203. This is the future at third base?
What about Weatherholt?
Well,
or is he playing second? Is that if Donovan's traded, then Weatherholt's playing second?
Right.
What if you trade Donovan and Gorman, then, Doug, you're running out of players now?
Nolan Gorman got
Find a catcher. Maybe Contreras could play third.
I mean, can you really put Gorman in there as your everyday third baseman when he hits like he does? I don't know. I kind of think you know who Gorman is. He's a swing from the heels. When he gets a hold of it, he can hit it a long way, and he'll hit you 15 to 20 homers probably. But besides the home runs, you get next to nothing.
Doug, what about moving Walker back to third? That's from the 314.
Well, he's got to hit too before you give him an everyday job.
Doug doesn't want anybody to play third.
Well, I'm saying that the situation's pretty bleak at the moment.
Pozo?
Why not?
Put the big fellow over
Jackson would be so happy if they fielded nothing but catchers.
Walker's coming off a season. He hit 215 with 6 home runs. The year before that, he hit 201.
It does appear.
This is the future?
It does appear, though, you're going to roll those guys back out in some form, Walker and Gorman. You're still giving them a chance, it seems.
They will have to have people throw a baseball to hitters.
Says who? Arch?
Arch. Chaim Bloom on the plans for the rotation in 2026.
Looking at the 2026 rotation options, do you still go out and try and bring in a veteran or two to kind of lead the group, or are you going to rely on, because I think it's time. Matthew Liberatore shows flashes of being really good. McGreevy looked really good last year. Do you just let those guys go, or do you try and bring in some veterans to lead the way?
We will add to the group. I don't know yet when or who that's going to be, but want to add at least one guy, potentially more, that have something under them in this league.
Yeah.
Would love to be able to get more young pitching that we like as well if we're able to find those fits on the trade market. Obviously, I'm not hinting at anything. There's nothing teed up at the moment, but we are going to look to add. Want to create some competition within the group. I think that'll be healthy. You always need depth. We don't want to block off lanes for these guys, especially the guys that you mentioned, to take those next steps in their careers.
Yeah.
But we will add and create some competition for this group.
Nice.
I like that.
Gosh, you better add. Holy smokes, you're down to the bare nubbins at the moment.
Nubbins for Lubbins.
Yeah.
So they'll add some journeyman type guys. They're kind of planning on it.
Kind of like the Pirates, where it's the last stop before you move down to Jupiter and start playing 13 rounds of golf a week. That's what the Pirates have been. The Blues are in a crisis mode, and you dingles are talking about Nolan Gorman. That's from Harrison's brother, Master, who is never happy with the topic.
It's a 4-hour show, mister. We talk about a little of everything.
Jackson.
You want some?
I do think that might be my new favorite thing on the presentation.
It's an immediate trigger when Tim reads from Harrison's brother. I know Papers is leaning to his right. He's going to the keyboard, and Ray Liotta is about to appear.
Yeah, he's about to really hit him.
And he doesn't actually say Bucko.
No, he doesn't. Apparently, during that scene, the guy who, the poor guy who gets pistol whipped in the face a bunch, talked about how Liotta, during it, was like really in character, like really method, and like hopping mad on the other side, like walking back and forth. And apparently was like really going after it and kind of clipped him one time, and it said it really hurt.
Couldn't you use just like a plastic gun?
I think they were, but I think Liotta was really leaning into it.
Oh.
Adam Welly, 818. Maybe he's in the L.A. area, Doug?
I don't know where he is.
Same as Lily Tomlin, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
818.
Oh, wow. A baseball segment. That's from Adam Welly.
Okay, stop giving us the business. We're talk show hosts. The Cardinals are in our town, so we're talking about them.
Before we got to the Heim Bloom segment, I did see a text that said, "Are we going to talk about how this Cardinals front office is a joke?" And I'm like, the man just took over.
You think there's any chance, if the price is right, that they bring Miles Michaelis back for another year?
What?
If the price was right?
Papers is...
No, I think that...
Because the one thing he does is throw a lot of innings. He's made 30 or more starts, 6 of the last 7 years.
I think the negotiation would have to be, we have given you so much money. If you would pay us, we'll let you pitch next year. That's my pitch.
Yeah, I mean,
like brokering time.
Yeah, if it was veteran minimum.
They're selling time. Instead of a weekend show, you get a 5th start.
You'll have fun pitching in the big leagues.
How about talking City SC, Doug? That is from Mad Monkey Spank.
City
Well,
SC.
it was a rough year for City SC. We sure hope they can battle back next year, score a few goals. What they need to do is put the old orb in the onion bag. That's what was missing this year. Okay, there's our soccer
Well, they
talk.
still have a name
I'll
to
be on
coach.
with Billikens and NC State.
Yeah.
Basically a home game for NC State. Kind of a bad beat. What are you going to do, though? What are you going to do? And then the game, the championship game, should they advance, would be Monday night.
Okay.
Like that'll either be against Washington or Furman.
I guess that's to avoid all the football over the weekend, I guess.
But then
Isn't
you
that
go
a
up against
weird...
Monday Night Football? I thought the same thing.
Kind of Friday to Monday is really weird.
You wouldn't think, maybe except for the travel, that home or away would affect a soccer game a lot, would you? Especially college. I mean, you don't have 70,000 people there screaming at you. You would think a soccer field is kind of a soccer field.
And they've won 3 straight on the road, so I think they're... Did you look at that roster, Doug? That SLU, it's unbelievable. How many kids are from the area? SLU, Chaminade, CBC, Marquette,
I like that.
Lafayette,
They should
I think,
be from this
Whitfield,
area. Yeah.
Belleville East, Quincy.
Guys, here's a question for you. Over under 3.5 seasons until the Cardinals make it back to the MLB playoffs. That's from Richard from Cedar Hill. So that basically means by the end of the decade, do you think they get there?
Oh, God. If they don't, there'll be nobody left at Busch Stadium. Because as a fan base, we've been spoiled by having a good team for a couple decades. And if they're just horrible, they've already put 3 or 4 horrible years back to back to back to back. If they're horrible for much longer, I shudder to think what that scene's going to be like down there.
You don't think it'll be a pony?
I don't think they can afford a rebuild to last that long.
St. Louis is so down, we even ruined the Chiefs. Yeah, I guess our NFL team.
That's on us.
Now.
Colonel didn't even care. He's had it so good, he's okay with it. I'm going to go 2029 playoffs or bust. 2029. Let's see.
I'll say earlier than that, just because, expanded playoffs, a lot of teams get in now. They might catch lightning in a bottle sometime before then. They're going to have to... Bloom's got a real job ahead of him, though. I mean, he's got a really tough job ahead of him. It just doesn't seem to be... I mean, we keep counting on the next group of players coming up from the minors as, well, it'll change when Walker gets here and when Gorman gets here. And, now it's going to change when Weatherholt gets here and Liam Kelly gets here. That'll be a different team. But we hope these guys better come through. They better be able to develop these guys.
Craig, would you say you guys should be bullying these hoes? I don't remember the context.
Was that one of your questions in a media scrum?
I don't remember how that came up.
You guys should come to my monogramming summit if you are so down. It gets freaky. That's from the self-made stay-at-home Ledoux mom. Yeah, she has that monogramming summit.
It's a summit?
Yeah, they do it in Orlando. And I've heard that it does get a little promiscuous.
It gets freaky? When they're monogramming things? on shirts and sweaters? That kind of
belts.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's some sort of cover for a swingers outlet?
The self-made stay-at-home Ledoux mom, she'll have to call in.
Okay.
When do you think that is? August in Orlando?
Oh, it's in August? I thought it was in December.
Orlando's beautiful in August.
I guess I know she's had a downturn in revenue because I was looking at acquiring a piece. Right. And so now they have to go in August as opposed to December.
Oh, it's safe.
Afternoons in Orlando in August, about 150 degrees.
Yeah, it's great. Landlocked.
I've been to Disney World that time of year, and you want desperately to be dead. It is so hot.
When you're waiting on hour 2 to ride It's a Small World.
Yeah, with Hoosiers all over the world.
Yeah.
I've been. There's Josh. Don't go. That's from Mr. Licks.
But the wine? I assume that's a wine reference.
Or the Summit.
Yeah, the Summit has the Josh
they've got
wine.
The wine here,
I guess.
Harrison's brother Master with an actual question as opposed to an attack. Who has the tougher job, Alex Steen or Chaim Bloom?
I'd say Bloom, because you got to come up with a lot more money to pay players in baseball.
What do you think, man?
I'd say Bloom.
Yeah, I would think Bloom, too.
A lot of hockey players oftentimes are very good at a very young age. So if you have a really good draft or you develop somebody who comes along quick, you can get pretty good in hockey.
And as disappointing as the Blues have been, they are still 2 points out of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And they got a long way to go this season.
And they do have some promising young players already on the roster.
Tim was right as always. This rebuild needed to start years ago. Hope Tim's paid correctly. God love him. Doug, that's from a priest.
Correctly.
Father Brown Eye. Where's his parish? Is that in Belleville? I know he used to be in Belleville.
Were you going to start the rebuild when you had Goldschmidt and Arenado?
You were going to trade Goldschmidt and Arenado in July of 2023. And when that was reported by the Los Angeles Times, it was met like it was some kind of JFK assassination plot and a scandal in these particular parts. One of the strangest things.
Yeah, they attacked the reporter.
Yeah, it was one of the strangest
But that wouldn't
things.
have affected whether the Cardinals moved him or not, just because the public perception thought it was a strange report.
That's correct. That's a separate conversation.
But the question is, how real was the talks for the Cardinals from their end?
The point in bringing that up, which was something that we had the author on Balloon
Jorge
Party.
Castillo.
Thank you very much, Jackie Papers. Is it shows how, I don't know what the right term would be, delusional, I guess, a portion of the Cardinal fan base was on the state of the organization. The Cardinals only really made the run that they had in 2022, which was a legitimately good team. Who started those 2 playoff games? Anybody? Nurse?
Jose Quintana.
And
Jordan Montgomery.
That's correct, who were not part of the team in mid-July 2022. And because of Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
So that team surged, and they were a legitimately good team. It's a goofball playoff format that they set up now where you play a best of 3 after you're winning your division, but whatever. But that was not going to be part of the plan going forward in 2023. In 2023, 2 of those guys didn't even start with the team. One was done playing, and the Cardinals had fallen off substantially, and you had an opportunity to get something for Arenado and Goldschmidt in July when they were in last place, and they chose not to because the mindset, I think, had been, we can hold on and maybe we can get in, which I understand. But it also burned them with that mindset in 16, 17, and 18. And there is a punishment for indecision. And that was what it was in 16, 17, and 18, which also set the stage for where we are now. and then having that indecision in 2023. So, yes, I do think that the rebuild should have started then. That would have been proactive, but that is not what the Cardinals have been. So if you love Doug Armstrong, you probably were frustrated by what the Cardinals did there. And now, you get nothing for him. Actually, you don't get nothing, double negative. You actually have to wind up paying to have them off your roster in the case of Arenado. 314-399-9646. That's how you can text in to the Air Comfort Service text inbox. You can talk it over with other TMA listeners in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, youtube.com/TMASTL. And you can also call into the Collier and Thompson phone lines, 314-974-0101, and get involved in the program. But, of course, you are also able to email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Doug, it is going to be freezing, and I mean freezing this weekend. I've got a high of 19 for you on Sunday and a low of 6, and it's going to be sunny. What the hell would happen if it was cloudy?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. If your furnace goes out, make sure you are working with Seth Goldcamp and his team at Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling, sponsor of our email today, the longest running sponsor, and also where Martin goes, where I go, and where many TMA listeners have gone over the years. Online at designairservice.com. It's Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling. The program's called TMA. It's presented by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN.
This weekend, if you're running around grocery shopping, Christmas shopping, errands with the kids, whatever, make a stop at the Village Bar. This Saturday from noon to 5, it's going on all of December, where you can sample the great products of 1879 Distilling, and you can do it inside the very cool tasting room, which is connected to the Village Bar. It is right there on the east end of the building, a beautiful layout in there, a little speakeasy type vibe, also a gift shop for the Village Bar and 1879 Distilling. Sample the products, get a little tour of the distiller, which is in the barn out back. You've been going to the Village Bar for years. You see that barn, you park right next to it. Well, that is the home to 1879 Distilling. It's where they make these award-winning small batch premium brands of liquor like Red Barn Vodka, 1879 Rye, 1879 Bourbon, and on Saturdays in December, you can sample the products and get a little tour. Do that by going to the tasting room, noon to 5 on Saturdays, including this weekend. Sample the products for yourself. Great website telling the whole history of this idea that was launched by the folks that run the Village Bar to open up a distillery. 1879distilling.com is the website. We'll see you on Saturday. 1879 Distilling, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Jackson with a Sports Center update. And that's driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Blues lose last night 5-2 to the Boston Bruins. Off today, back in action tomorrow as they take on the Nashville Predators. Pre-game at 6, puck drop at 7, right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. That was another Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
So good.
Favorite part right here.
So good. Clip that off. It's TMA 101 ESPN Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you. You can watch us do this show and see all the prep that goes into it. You type in TMA STL when you open up your YouTube app, and the next thing you know, you're watching the program. You're watching the program, and if you want, you can talk to Deep Voice Dude, Spicy So, or you say Spicy?
I think it's So.
Milk Jr., 65. John Scores. Martin's Wildcat Agenda's in there, too.
I got to break that out in the bowl game. This would be a good time. Let's get that Wildcat back up and running.
Doug, are you having a Gator Bowl party at your house?
No, I plan to blow it up big time because this is the most important game they'll play all year.
It's a Saturday.
You can get that bowl game W.
No NFL because the NFL's had 3 Christmas games, and then everything will be on Sunday, so no Saturday game, whereas they have Saturday games going up against the Tulane Ole Miss and Oregon James Madison playoff games on the 20th. So Missouri's got the stage to itself for all the degenerates, Missouri and Virginia.
Virginia?
How else would you pronounce it?
I guess that's it.
It's on ABC. How about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because at this point, that's going to be the focal point for college football and football as a whole. Here is, what do we have here? Papers? You got a segment, Eli Drinkwitz is talking about it, Doug. Getting you ready.
Presser yesterday.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, I think competitors want to compete. You know, we talk about all the time, warriors always run to the fight. And, you know, these guys are made to compete. They love football. If you don't love football, you wouldn't do it the way we're committed to doing it. And so I know our guys are going to want to play for the brotherhood. You know, Coach Elliott spoke about having the opportunity to do something that's never been done before in their program. We have an opportunity to do something that's never been done before in the history of our program. 3 straight seasons of 9+ wins. To finish the season ranked three consecutive seasons hasn't occurred here at the University of Missouri before. Winning 3 straight bowl games hasn't occurred at Missouri in a long time. And so, you know, you always got to find micro goals in everybody's goals. We all have high goals and achievable goals, and when those things don't occur, you have to find the ability to reset and refocus, and that's what we've done. We had a spirited practice yesterday, going to have one again today. We're not quite in preparation mode for Virginia, but just getting the rust off and getting back into playing football, and I thought the energy and excitement that these guys had to play football one more time as a group was good.
Well, he seems excited about it. I would think the players would be excited to play one more game. I know it doesn't mean anything to us. That's why these teams that back off the bowl game say we don't want to go. I'm always surprised by that because I think it would be a fun thing to do. What else are you going to do right now? If you're a college football player, you didn't get into playoffs, you weren't completely satisfied with your season, so you don't go to a bowl game. I just think it'd be a fun thing for the players to do to get to play and get to practice another 2 or 3 weeks.
Sounds like you want to fight the Notre Dame captains.
I don't want to fight the captains. I think they should have waited a few more days before they decided whether or not they wanted to go somewhere.
But the process of bowl games, it's a domino effect on other schools, so you don't have the luxury of saying, give us 48 hours, because then the bowls fill their spots literally that afternoon.
I know. If it was Notre Dame, I expect somebody would have held a spot open. I just think in the emotion of the moment, I can understand why they say, no playoffs, yeah, we're done. That's it. We're mad. We're not going to go anywhere. But I think if they slept on it at least one night, maybe they'd have come up with a different solution.
They could win 9 games, 3 straight years, Tim. Gary Pinkel, 2007, 2008, they won 12, then they won 10.
They beat Northwestern in the Alamo Bowl, Doug. Am I right on that?
I don't remember.
2008 Alamo Bowl, which is in San Antonio. I think Macklin ran one back, maybe. 2009, the team stepped back a little bit and went 8-5. Could have won a bowl game. That would have given them number 9. And then in recent years, let's see, that was Pinkel had another one. 2013, that team, remember, the 12-2 squad that won the Cotton Bowl. Then the next year, 11-3. But then the 2015, there were those games. What do you call that? They've vacated. Pinkel's record is officially listed as 0-7 that year.
Yeah. What did they do? I forgot what they did to forfeit all those games.
Was that the studying scandal? Homework scandal?
Oh, that's right.
Maybe.
That's what it was. Yeah. One of the tutors.
So it lists the 2015, it just lists Pinkel at 0-7. I don't know about the other games.
Drinkwitz talks like he actually believes the horse bleep that he's spewing. We go to bowls around here, dadgummit. That's from Gerard Chadwell.
Oh. Well, that's a little empty, but as a fan, wouldn't you just assume watch and play is not?
Yes.
If you're a fan base.
But I don't know who takes the position that they don't want to watch a team play.
Well, I'm saying that all the teams, and Notre Dame's not the only one who've begged off the bowl games. I just don't understand that mentality. Why you wouldn't want to play. For the players, for the coaches, for the additional practice time, for the fan base. I know the games are meaningless for the most part, but I just assume watch and play.
And the majority of kids want to get on a plane, stay at a hotel,
you'd think.
Going to Florida. I get it. As a player, I'm sure Drinkwitz, part of him is thinking, oh, man, how do we get to that next level? Okay, but we still got to try and win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule announced tomorrow night for all SEC teams. And it will be a 9-game conference schedule next year in the SEC.
That'll be a lot tougher.
Telling you.
A lot tougher.
Trips to Athens and Oxford, and they will host Texas. They will host Oklahoma. They will host Texas A&M. They will host Florida. And they will travel also to Fayetteville and Lawrence, Kansas. Rock Chalk.
That's a tough home slate. I like to call it a slate sometimes.
Yeah, I caught that.
Yeah, tough home slate. Florida looks beatable where they are now, but you never know.
Eli Drinkwitz also talked about what college football can do to get teams excited to play in bowls again. Here is what he had to say.
I can't speak to other people's programs, and every situation is uniquely different, and schools got to make decisions that are in the best interest of their programs. I think for us, the main thing is the opportunity to continue to compete and grow. And as a program that's trying to emerge to the highest levels, like you never shy away from an opportunity to compete. And again, we're going against a team that I think is has one of the biggest turnarounds in college football. You know, Coach Elliott's staff is tremendous. So it's going to be a tremendous competition that you get to measure yourself with. I think from a general point of view or a 10,000 point view, we got to change the calendar. I think the calendar is driving this whole decision-making and issues. You know, we're not able to finish the competitive playing season before players, coaches, administrations have to make hard decisions. And, you know, I think you're seeing mid-season coaches being let go because they're afraid of the high school signing day and being behind in recruiting. And now you're seeing players making decisions because, you know, they want to be ahead of the transfer portal dates. And you're seeing coaches make decisions because of all those things. So to me, the easiest fix, which is the calendar. And, you know, when that's addressed, I think some of these decisions can be adjusted. I don't think there's competitors that don't want to play. I don't think there's competitors that don't want to participate. I think there's decisions that have to be made because of all the different circumstances that are involved because of the calendar.
I agree with that.
Yeah, everyone seems to agree with that. So why don't they change the damn calendar?
Well, the issue is, who is they? I saw Kirk Herbstreit and Joey Galloway talking about it on their podcast. Who is they? Because they is the man behind the curtain, and there is no man back there.
And when you say they, you're not talking about the people who want to change. You're talking about the people that could actually change it.
Well, I'm saying there is no one in charge. So
somebody had to set up the current schedule.
So the Big Ten and the SEC and the Big 12 and the ACC, and then you go to the other conferences, they're all operating in their own interest, but there is not one unifying governing body.
And they don't trust the head of the NCAA to do it?
NCAA is not really involved in college football like it was low so many years ago when, for example, Gary Pinkel went 0-7 even though they did win games.
Didn't win a game.
But what are the other? They played more than 7 games. That's what I can't figure out.
Well, it seems like
the rest of the games.
The commissioners of these conferences are going to have to get together and reach some kind of accord.
Tony Petitti.
All the commissioners of the 5 families.
He seems to
the
do a
heads
lot
of the 5 families,
missing, though, doesn't he?
Yeah. They're going to have to get together and do something, aren't they? Because everyone seems to agree that the calendar sucks.
There will be a meeting following the College Football Playoff Championship game in which they will determine the format, and my guess is it will be going to at least 16, and the ACC will change its tiebreaker. Because if the ACC would have changed its tiebreaker, Notre Dame would have been in, because either Miami or Virginia would have been in, and then Miami wouldn't have taken an at-large, which means James Madison wouldn't have gotten in, and then Notre Dame would have gotten in. I think there would have been a lot less complaining. For example, if Notre Dame would have been number 11, Ole Miss would be taking on Notre Dame in Oxford, and I think we'd have a much different perspective on that 3 o'clock.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. You'd still have Oregon, and they'd be taking on Tulane, but James Madison would be out.
Right.
And then Miami would be, I don't know if they would have moved. BYU did get dropped when they lost, but Ohio State just moved down to 2, and Alabama didn't move at all based on the conference championship games. So you would have had A&M and Miami theoretically at 10, and you would have had a much different looking college football playoff first round.
Right. I think everyone's in agreement that change needs to be made. It's just what entity would make the change, and then also a lot of stuff with the calendar is based on academic year, and I get all this, like, who cares? But you'd basically be having to admit that, like, no one cares about school. And I don't think they're ready to do that just yet. I think they still want them to be student athletes and classified as such.
What do you do with the Tulanes of the world, the James Madison? Do you just expand so that you can allow for those kind of
Well, I think you still have the group of 5, group of 6, whatever it is, have a spot, but you change it up so that there isn't a situation like we have this year where the ACC is a little down and your best team clearly isn't going to be in the conference championship, and so the highest ranked conference champion comes from a group of 5 school. Like, they just can't allow that to happen again. They have to change something in there. Or they just expand it.
They can't all just accept the fact that the system is really messed up, but there's nobody to change it. Somebody's going to have to take the bull by the horn, step up and say, we're going to do this. And if it takes all the commissioners to sit down and figure it out, then that's what they need to do. They can't just keep pushing this down the road and cry every year when a coach leaves a program that's about to get in the playoffs and the transfer portal is, the calendar there is messed up. Someone has got to do something.
So one of the main issues with regard to that, which I would be all for, it's like when I lay out my fantasy college football conferences and divisions, which would theoretically help. The SEC and the Big Ten aren't negotiating from the same place as the Big 12 or ACC, and then specifically take whatever pick of conference that you would want to put below their Sun Belt and so on, and American Athletic. So the SEC and the Big Ten are not necessarily in the business of helping out those conferences. And so it is difficult to get them all to sit at the same table when 2 of the commissioners are in much better positions of leverage than everybody else at the table. And I say that, unfortunately, because then that leads to what you have every year. I mean, I find myself as a huge college football fan, every December I'm like, I'm rooting for chaos. What does that say? Because I want the system blown up.
Right.
But yet I love the sport. But every year when December rolls around, I'm rooting for chaos. Because why? Well, I think it'll lead to change. But clearly it doesn't, because the next December I will be rooting for chaos.
Well, even if all the conferences couldn't agree on who should get in the playoffs, you would think they could all agree on a calendar for the transfer portal and on coaches leaving teams in the middle of the season. You'd think there are certain basic parameters that they could agree on.
Yeah. Would agree there, though.
How about conference realignment and reasonable geographic boundaries? That's from Bourbon Bob.
I'd go for that.
That would be great, but if you're Missouri and you would be put into a conference back with Kansas and Kansas State, then you're not in the SEC. And if you're Missouri, why would you walk away from that?
Right. Right. And you can't forget the Pac-12 literally blew up. Like, it ceased to exist.
Because of television.
Right. So
Oregon was concerned that they were going to Apple TV, which they did not think was going to be substantive. And so that is why they were the ones behind the scenes that morning, pulled the trigger on saying, we got to get out of here because this is not going to work. And they bolted. So the television deals are a big part of it. If Notre Dame didn't have their deal with NBC, I assure you Notre Dame would be part of a conference.
Well, didn't the commission, that Pac-12 commissioner, he had an offer. He kind of fumbled the whole package.
Yep.
And that's when teams are like, all right, we're out. Whatever that guy's name, Larry something maybe.
Larry Storch from F Troop?
Oh, God, what an actor he was.
Overplayed his hand.
Storch?
And then
Totally overacted.
Okay, poor Larry Storch
Forrest
is
Whitaker
taking
would say
shrapnel.
something stupid and go, Corporal, stop it. Wonderful show.
Well, the other Larry botched the Pac-12 deal, and then it just disintegrated on his watch. I think he single-handedly, if you had to say, why did the Pac-12, I think he would probably be the first person you'd name. Although long-term, maybe Oregon, Washington, like, hey, wouldn't mind being in the Big Ten for the prestige, the money.
Ken Berry was an F Troop. Remember him?
Ken Berry.
And he also went to Priory and played for Notre Dame?
And different guy.
I don't know. You might want to look that up. You can give your thoughts on Ken Berry and Priory by talking it over with the Priory class of 94 is in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, the Wentzville Walking Stick, the Lee May adjacent Wildcat, Bourbon Bob, and Deep Voice Dude. They're all in there, and they're talking it over. 251 friends. Open up your YouTube app. Subscribe to the TMA STL channel. You can also text in, and Mr. Licks is doing so. He says, are we not going to talk about my victory lap today? Doug, what is his victory lap?
I don't know.
Well, we know if he calls in, Matt Holliday calls in. Is that how it works, Martin?
That's the plan. So Licks call in. Actually, Deep Voice guy, why don't you call in?
Very
from the
active.
YouTube, because
sometimes he's Lex Luthor, sometimes he's Deep Voice Dude. It's like NY is sometimes Dat Zulu and Nikolai from St. Chuck. Jackson, do you have a spreadsheet of all the different names?
Impossible. I would need some sort of, like in The Wire when they had the cork board up, connecting all the things. Yeah.
I follow the reference.
Barksdale on the top.
Yeah, Avon. What about Marlowe? Chairman, you were raising your hand. What do we have going on?
I could be wrong, but I think Licks he might have called in last week talking about something with private equity and college athletics.
Oh, yeah, Utah.
Utah is now a private equity operation. That's Mr. Licks' victory lap?
There's the private equity thing with the Utah football team, and I guess, this will be a riveting victory lap conversation.
I was just going to say, why don't you go outside, Licks, and take a lap?
Pretty windy.
Well, just take a lap. Tell your neighbors, what are you doing? I'm taking a victory lap.
So we welcome that victory lap, 314-974-0101. And you are also welcome to email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Coming up in about 20 minutes, Jeremy Rutherford is going to be in studio taking your two-part questions. He is brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Send yours in via text or on the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. That is how you can get involved on the program. And text JR your two-part questions. Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Doug, watch this.
What?
Billikens, rah, rah, rah. Billikens.
It's just boom ball.
St. Louis University, you got SLU against NC State. Soccer, Final Four on Friday. St. Louis University, you got the Billikens basketball team against the Dons. You like that nickname, the Dons?
I don't mind it.
San Francisco is coming to town, and that is where Florida Gators head coach Todd Golden came from. Am I right on that, papers?
Sounds right. Yeah.
The Billikens are 8-1, 0.1 second away from being 9-0, and I think getting proper credit nationally for just how good they are. St. Louis University 6-0 at Chaifetz Arena this season. They have won 9 straight on their home floor, dating back to last year. And if you would like to see the Billikens take on San Francisco Saturday at 7 p.m. at Chaifetz Arena, you can get your tickets at slubillikens.com. My prediction, and you can put it in Predictionary, is a lot of people around town are going to be talking about the St. Louis University Billikens as they get into conference play. And this is an opportunity to see them against a team that has been dangerous and will be, I think, much more of a test than, Doug, is it the Chippewas?
I believe so.
Central Michigan. The Billikens taking on San Francisco. Get your tickets at slewbillikens.com. The game is Saturday night at 7 p.m. at Chaffetz Arena. Billikens, rah, rah, rah. That's correct. That is correct.
Billikens, shish, boom, ba.
That's correct. slewbillikens.com. Jeremy Rutherford, two-part questions coming up at 8:50. Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today coming your way at 10:45. There is your Stiefel dossier. This is the Morning After, presented by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel. Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they are kicking things off with an offer that is tough to beat. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So, download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement, because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel. And Martin, you got a play that you would like to recommend.
All right, NBA tonight. You say, what? Oklahoma City at home. They win. You know that. They've got the Phoenix Suns, the spread 14.5. It's a big number. Tim, I know that game recently. You're thinking about the Suns just played in OKC, only lost by 4. We're keeping an eye on Devin Booker. May not play. I'm going to say over. 14.5. They're going to cover. Oklahoma City at home tonight covers.
There it is, Martin on Oklahoma City. So download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement, because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel. Must be 21 or older in present Missouri. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Oh, Doug. This puts you in a good headspace, doesn't it?
Sure.
That's what Jackson's doing today, putting us in a good headspace.
It's the theme.
It's
Putting you in a good
Dwayne Allman's
headspace. No, it's nobody's birthday.
Dwayne Allman's
Nobody's
friend's
birthday. It's nobody's birthday.
Nobody's birthday. Tim, it's nobody's birthday.
That's
today.
the theme.
All right, I'm going to look it up. What's
Well,
the date?
obviously it's somebody's birthday,
Okay.
but
Take
certainly
it away.
nobody in the Allman Brothers band.
Yeah. Jeremy Rutherford's going to be in studio here at 8:50 taking your two-part questions coming off of the Blues loss last night. Feeling good at the first period. Oh, look, there's Robert Thomas. Oh, look, it's number 89. He's sure playing a nice game. And then the second period happened, Doug, and it got away. And it got away quick, fast, and in a hurry. 3 shots for the Blues in the second period. Second periods continue to be problems. Here is Robert Thomas on what went wrong last night.
Hit the lever pail.
Yeah, just a little bit too loose. We allowed them too much time and space in the D zone, and they made us pay. Yeah, we have a lot of young players that are stepping up, and there's nothing you can do. We all know how the schedule is. A lot of games, not a lot of time off, and time to recover. And it seems like every team's kind of had their little spurt of the injury bug. Whether it's been at the start of the year, whether it's 10 games ago, this is our time, and it's a good test for us. We got to battle through it, and it's a big part of the season. We got to really make a move here.
Bar down.
When you play all these games in a condensed schedule because of the Olympics, it also means there's not a lot of time to practice. Your team gets off the rails and can't figure something out. There's not a whole lot of time to fix things.
That was the big turnaround last year. Monty had the break. Remember that? Where they kind of all got together. But they're in Nashville tomorrow. That's a winnable game, Doug. Come home Friday to take on the Blackhawks. Can you get back-to-back? And then the question is, can you win 3 in a row? So far, the answer to that is no.
It's a no so far.
It's also Joe Burrow's birthday today.
And Raven Simone. Doug, you remember Raven on the Cosby Show?
That's a Raven. That's my generation knows.
Michael Clark Duncan. That's one of your guys. Yeah.
Green Mile. Boy, it's a long movie.
How long is it?
I think it's damn near 3 hours.
Oh.
But you like The Irishman, which is longer.
Yeah, it's a better movie.
What's the longest movie?
That's a good answer. I mean, that's a fair answer. It's a fair retort.
Once Upon a Time in America is almost 4 hours, I think.
Oh.
Michael Clark Duncan passed away.
So Lawrence of Arabia, which the Netflix CEO suggests you watch on your phone, was like 4 hours as well.
That was like Inside Movie Boy. It was an Easter egg for Movie Boy listeners.
That's actually true. Once Upon a Time in America is 3 hours, 49 minutes. Lawrence of Arabia.
There's a Swedish film called Logistics that goes on for 857 hours.
Yeah, that's like experimental. That's like experimental.
Do you
done that on Movie Boy yet?
Do you appreciate the achievement of it?
No.
You don't?
That's a look at me.
How have I not watched Logistics?
Lawrence of Arabia is 3 hours, 47.
How much time, Kurt, do I have to set aside to watch Logistics?
You'll need just over 35 days.
Great. And it never stops? There's never a break?
I need a little time away.
I guess if you combined all the series, if you took
for sure
The Sopranos and just edited episode 2 right on the back of episode 1, you could get a movie that lasts that long.
What was that Spanish language soap opera that our guy Iggy used to watch?
Oh, that's right.
I can't remember the name of it. He'll tell us today on QFTA.
That's right, yeah. About 11:30.
Is he taking questions?
Sure. Yes, he is. I think he might be in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat.
Might be on a smoke break.
But if you have questions, 4 questions from the audience, that is the name of the podcast. TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com. And we take anything and everything. It's not necessarily sports related at all. It's nonsense. Jackson and I would love an erotic story, but we haven't gotten one from the audience in 17 months. And I think today would be a great day for somebody to email one in. And we can just sit there and read erotic stories to each other in a tight space.
Isn't that weird?
That's kink
Two
shaming.
guys sitting there reading erotic
but this
stories
time
to
it'll be
one
3
another?
guys.
Yeah,
Three of
Iggy
us.
will be in there, so it makes it more comfortable.
Yeah, the more guys, the better, is what I always say.
Oh, I can tell that by your vacation.
And Iggs knows there's no smoking in the studio, right?
That's correct.
But yet the aroma in the room will still smell of cigarettes.
Well,
I'm just saying. Because I love eggs. I can I'm picturing this now.
What was that Spanish novella that he was watching?
I believe someone in the YouTube chat, Walrus King, said it was Senor Cielos.
Yeah, we've gotten a few texts on that. Big Tough is coming after Movie Boy hard, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I also don't like that I was cucked, I think, by Rafe for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
It's a bad beat. My apologies.
Yeah. But I will not read Big Tough's attack on Movie Boy.
No, don't do it.
I will.
You're going to read it?
Against my better judgment. No.
All right, go on.
Against my better judgment. I'm going to open it up.
Doug watches pop, 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 pop,
you described my last episode as phoned in. I really liked doing it. I thought it was pretty good. But, okay. Not for you, I guess.
No. Some people like things.
Some people don't like other things.
Yeah.
Doug, Godfather 1 and 2 are both long. Thanks. That's from the 314.
Yeah. Thank you. The Irishman was 3 hours, wasn't it?
3.5.
It's a long time to sit there.
Yeah, I saw that at the Plaza Frontenac. May it rest in peace. I've told the story before, but
not great chairs there.
Not great at all, and I've told the story before. Good but there was a gentleman with a breathing machine that sat behind me. So for 3.5 hours, it was like Darth Vader. I was watching in the
Could
same.
you move to another?
I eventually did.
Yeah.
Did that take away from it?
Well, then I had to move to the side, and
Could you have maybe unplugged his appliance to?
I could have just left because it was going on Netflix.
Manslaughter?
It was coming on Netflix like 12 hours later, but I had nothing to do that day, so I was like, all right, let's lock
See,
in.
Kim and I liked going to the Frontenac Theater because we felt youthful.
You were certainly the youngest.
Sitting next to somebody with a breathing machine, like, feeling really spry today.
Yeah.
Doug, a compliment in the Air Comfort Service text inbox. And it's real. Good morning, boys. I listened to the Maroon Freeze interview. Wow. I highly recommend it and can't wait to go to Hometown Heroes for dinner. Great job on that podcast. That is from the 618. Yeah, it is. I'm glad people have had a chance to listen to it after we sat on it for 5 years. Freeze yesterday posted on his Instagram, here's a podcast from 5 years ago.
He wasn't happy with the timing of it.
No, he enjoyed it. And then to Patty Maroon, I don't know if I said this on the air or not, or if this was an off-air conversation. Patty Maroon's doing lightning stuff. And after going, he goes, man, I forgot all about those interviews. Are you releasing the John Hamm and Lance Berkman one? I go, I guess we might as well. Hell, I don't know. I have no idea.
Why didn't they get released at the time?
Well, here's the absolute 100% real reason, which I've never said before. It's not like it's some groundbreaking thing, but at the time when Pat and I were doing them, number one, it was COVID, and number two, we were in the process of buying KFNS. Doug, there were some interesting things that happened just a week out before that was supposed to happen, in which the terms were changed. Mm-hmm. And as opposed to engaging in a negotiation, we call that a non-starter on our side, and then we got up and said, well, have at it.
How's about we add a zero? We'll just move the line a little, move a comma and a period over there a little more. We'll add some zeros.
Now, Martin, you might think this is a coincidence. The next day after we got up and walked away, when the terms were changed, Jimmy the Cat Hayes and Darren Peoria Plowboy Atkins were, quote-unquote, furloughed. And some people, I don't know if they're right or not, would say, oh, hostages were shot and killed.
Oh, you don't shoot hostages.
So then it was a related or
right, that's your
I'm not saying, you're saying that's opinion. What some people are saying.
Some people are saying. But one of the things that we were going to do was have, along with the station, some new podcasts, because podcasting and social media, and now it sounds really obvious, but in 2020, podcasts I don't think were as prominent as they are now, which sounds really strange because it was only 5 years ago. But anyway, and so Pat and I were doing this podcast. Pat was going to be part of the group buying it, and that was going to be something that was going to be with it. And so when we announced the purchase of the station, we were going to also release this podcast. And then we didn't do it, and then we just kind of sat on it. So that's the long-winded answer, which might be interesting, might not be. I don't know. That's up to you. Because some people like some things.
And some people don't like other
Some people don't like other things. Oh, my God. Are we still talking about COVID? That's from Eric in the Central.
COVID? I don't think
that triggers Eric. You just say COVID. Here's a do, big man. Come in a little early tomorrow and stay a little late, but we're going to have to let you go. But I still need you to stay a little late.
What kind of operation?
But no, I need you to come in early and then stay a little late, but you're also getting let go.
In the middle of the day.
Yeah, if that's okay.
But you're expected to finish your shift.
If you could just stick around.
We're letting you go, but we need to stick around and run the board for Frank's show.
Here's the deal. What's good? Everybody gets a pay raise. Okay. Next week, everybody gets a pay cut. That actually happened. So.
Let's see. Would somebody just give Timmy a radio station already? That's from Martin's Wildcat Agent. I will politely decline that offer if you are to give it to me. I will politely decline it. It might have been one of the best things to ever walk away from in my life, actually, fortunately. So if anything, I'm grateful that the terms were changed a week before closing. You can give your thoughts the morning after at InsideSTL.com, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That is how you can email in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email idea. Do you know anything about Design Air Heating and Cooling and if they have any handsome repairmen?
Well, they've got a number on their staff. Which one would you like? I don't know that you can call and request them by name.
Like a barber?
Yeah, it kind of depends on who's working that day. I don't know. You might get the rugged Joe who could bring Joey along with him. Yeah. Maybe the dashing Steve or the bold and daring Adam. You don't know who you're going to get. That kind of makes it exciting. A lot of people in town now looking forward to when their furnace breaks down. So one of these handsome repairmen can come to their door. Not really, but it won't break down if you have Design Air out there to give your furnace some regular maintenance. It's very important, especially if you have a gas furnace. You want to make sure that that is clean and ready to go when the really cold weather hits, and it's about to hit us right now. At Design Air, they believe in honest work. You're never going to be sold something that you don't need. So whether you're dealing with the cold or the summer heat, when that rolls back around, they've got your back with dependable service and no pressure solutions. It's a business that's been around since 1904, more than a century of keeping St. Louis homes comfortable and customers happy. And as always, they are home of the handsome repairman. Visit DesignAirService.com. Schedule your service today. Design Air, comfort you can count on since 1904.
Email in for that Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. It's coming your way in 2 hours. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Compete because coming up in just 3 weeks, Seth Goldcamp's giving away a $10,000 HVAC unit and installation for the winner of the email of the month in January. That will begin on January 5th. That is the competition for the month of January. So unlike Tim to not self-promote, that is certainly my brand. Where do we find this podcast? It's on the TMA podcast feed. And you can go to TMASTL.com and just play it there. But it was pre-YouTube podcast recording, so it's not on YouTube. But you can, if you just subscribe to the TMA podcast, it's in the podcast feed. The Tim McKernan Show is the name of the podcast. Jeremy Rutherford in studio coming up next, brought to you by Mark Hanna. Send your two-part questions in for JR, 314-399-9646. Also, you can post them in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, youtube.com/TMASTL. This is The Morning After.
Together Credit Union offers so many really just kind of fun ways to do your banking, and that includes the St. Louis Zoo debit card. We've told you about this. It's worth a reminder here late in the year how you can get the St. Louis Zoo debit card because they're supporting the zoo, which cares for about 2,000 animals. That represents nearly 450 species. The St. Louis Zoo's impact on wildlife, conservation, all of that is significant. That's why Together Credit Union teamed up with the St. Louis Zoo to offer the exclusive St. Louis Zoo debit card. The debit card will round up the change from your transactions and donates money back to the St. Louis Zoo. That's how it works. Your donations help further the zoo's mission of animal care and management, and that zoo debit card, if you have it, you'll get special perks like zoo membership, including discounts, attraction tickets, parking perks, much more. If you set up now, you also get that sea lion plush toy with your St. Louis Zoo debit card. Get it by going online, open the account at togethercu.org/zoo, or just stop by. They have 14 branches around St. Louis. Don't wait. Sign up today. Support the St. Louis Zoo. Visit togethercu.org for more details. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Monty smiling, skates on fire. The soul of the Lou just rising higher. Voodoo up, we're on top. Oh yeah. Blue's gonna get that cup again, baby. It's true. Rooftop shouting and the horns all blue. Oh, O'Reilly's ghost still tapping the glass. We got that spirit and we got that class.
His ghost? CMA 101 ESPN. The show is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen, and this is a Wednesday tradition here on the program. The great Jeremy Rutherford comes into the studio and talks it over with us, presented to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Morning, JR.
Morning. Is it a compliment or a bad thing if I say those songs are the best part of the show?
Oh!
It's not a compliment, I'll tell you that much.
But it is accurate.
Now our feelings are hurt.
Text in your questions for Jeremy Rutherford at 314-399-9646. Two-part questions are welcome. And you can also post those in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Open up your YouTube app, type TMA STL, and click subscribe. And now you're in there talking it over with Bourbon Bob, very active this morning, along with Jeremy Hodge. So that is where you can go and talk it over with other TMA listeners and watch the show. JR, your reaction to last night's festivities and a magical second period.
Yeah, I can't get that third one like you guys were talking about earlier. Just remember last year they were the last team in the league to be able to get 3 in a row, and what do? They get 12 in a row. So it's just tough. I think, I wrote about it this morning. In addition to all the issues the Blues have had all season, now the injuries are just really starting to pile up. When you look at 5 forwards being out, maybe you can withstand it. A couple forwards, a couple defensemen, but 5 forwards missing from the lineup is really starting to show up a little bit.
That second period, was it me or were they just like trying to sit on a 1-0 lead? It looked like all they were interested in doing was get the puck down to the Boston zone, change lines, and then go back and start playing defense again.
Yeah, no, that's basically what it's been all season in that second period. And now, granted, you got the line change, but everybody deals with that. But it's just been a bugaboo all season for the Blues. I think it's 41-25 now. They've been outscored in the second period. And, not to get too off track here, but, defensively, they've changed the system. We've talked about that. They're playing the man-to-man. They're spending too much time in their zone. Even though things have improved a little bit, they're just spending too much time. And by the time the shift's over, that's what it amounts to, Doug, is dump it and get off, and you're spending no time in the O-zone.
I thought Montgomery's postgame, where he didn't say effort, a week ago he said the word effort, but I thought everything he was pointing out, getting out-muscled or out-hustled or faster to the puck, I thought everything went back to effort yet again.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the words that he used last night kind of outraced the pucks, things like that. And that's what it is. You could look at each of the 3 goals, especially the 2 goals in that second period for Boston, and say, if this guy gets to the puck, that goal doesn't happen. And so, I guess at that point you're splitting hairs. Is it effort? Is it, just executing? 2 different things. But I think that you could notice last night the reasons why the Blues gave up those goals. And while he didn't mention the effort, I think that lack of execution was evident.
Still only, 3 points out of the playoffs?
2 points.
2 points out of the playoffs? Are you clearing your schedule in May and June, thinking this team's going to still be around?
Yeah, it's Martin, can I go to, where are we going?
We go to Scotland. We could skip that and just go to the Stanley Cup parade.
Oh, wow, nice.
Have a parade?
We can do that. You look at the standings, and there's just a bunch of teams mumble-jumbled there, right there in that Western Conference, the teams below the wild card. And, yeah, they're 2 points out, but when you can't win 3 in a row, and also you're only, 5 points out of the absolute basement, I think
that's negative thinking.
Yeah, so you can't, you can look at the 2 points, but even if they win last night and they catch the wild card teams, what are we really believing in at that point?
Doug's looking forward to a first-round matchup with mighty Colorado.
Yeah, I'd rather have them get in the first round and lose than not be a playoff team at all. I guess.
Would you take the 4-round sweep?
Sure.
What about a gentleman's sweep where it's 4-1?
That'd be even nice. It'd be more polite, for sure.
2-part questions coming in fast and furious. Let me go this way. Is it possible that Hofer gets dealt instead of Bennington? That's from the 314.
Yeah, that would not happen.
No chance. You're just 100% on that now.
Yeah, you have Bennington 1 more year. You look at his situation, he could be moved. But you got Joel Hofer, a young goaltender, showing a ton of promise. And look how he, I I tweeted about it last night. Look how he's bounced back from that adversity earlier in the season. Those are the things that are going to help a guy like him grow. So he's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got everything to be a 1A, and I think he's the guy of the future.
Let's see what I got here. Good morning, JR. Is Jordan Binnington in his Nolan Arenado era of his career? And what do you think? When do you think Carbonell could get called up? That is from the 314 2-parters.
Yeah, I think with Binnington, I think he can still compete. Like, you look at a couple of these games here lately. Yeah, you don't like them, and there's a reason why Joel Hofer, got a couple starts here and played last night, but. You look at the last 5 games, Binnington's been pretty good to really good in 3 of them. So I don't think he's washed up. Doug, what did we say Arenado hit? 205 last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, this isn't like an 816 save percentage for Binnington. And also, I think while they are in similar situations, the Blues and the Cardinals, like Arenado definitely doesn't fit that rebuild that the Cardinals are doing. I think Binnington can still help you compete. And you need 2 goaltenders in the NHL. And then as far as Carbonell, that's a question that gets asked a lot about can you bring a guy like him up? But the answer is no. The junior rules don't allow you to bring up a junior player until his junior season's over. That kind of protects those junior teams from NHL teams bringing guys up and stashing them in the minors, doing something like that.
You think if you were to put Binnington on the trade market, you could get a young forward with some promise?
Well, I think a lot of times you look at a situation like that and you think, wow, Edmonton needs a goalie. They'll really pay. But if you look at the last 10 goalie trades over the past however many years, you might get a first-round pick and be lucky to get that, but I don't think you're getting like a 24-year-old, 23-year-old forward, like a Dylan Holloway or somebody who's going to come in and give you a lot of, promise for the future. I think if you trade a Jordan Binnington, you're looking at potentially a first-round pick and, maybe an asset or something.
JR, clearly this team does not have it. Even if they go on a run starting next game, do you think Army is still going to make some big moves? We need consistency. Also, what's your favorite family restaurant in Jeffco? That's from Healthy Scratch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, I think that Doug Armstrong is looking at this situation like he's trying to put Alexander Steen in the best position possible. And that's likely going to lead to some moves. And trading a couple of guys who you think are assets, a Braden Shen, a Justin Falk, maybe a Jordan Binnington. And I don't think if you win the next 6 in a row, win the 7 before the Christmas break, you're in the mix. Yes, you just want to stay in the mix. We saw what that did for the Blues last year. They got in the playoffs and almost got a first-round upset. But I think that it's just a tough situation to be in when you need to move on from a core group of players, and the opportunity is there to do that. And Jeffco, we talked about the detours off of Seckman Road.
Yeah.
I highly recommend. Sometimes... What are we just talking? Night establishments, or what are we talking?
It's at family.
This one's family. Anybody make it down to the Kimswick, Chairman? You get down and see the.
I've been to the Apple Butter Festival.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Was that a pony?
Not really.
But they had a pony out front.
Yeah, we hate it for the traffic, though. All you Kirkwoodites come down and back up the Highway 55 on the way into the Apple Butter Festival.
Here we go. Detours Grill and Bar.
There you go.
Not a bar and grill. It's a 2-fox. Grill and bar. Instead of a bar and grill, it's a grill and bar.
Let me go into the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. I want to make sure I see if the people have a question for JR. I'm fine with just mailing in the season for McKenna. JR, that's from MD 2020 in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat.
Yeah, and that's Tim. If you look at the teams who've had a lot of success here, and you look at Colorado this year, they've had the Cal McCarrs, the Nathan McKinnons. You need some of those types of players that are just superstars, and I think that's what the Blues have lacked over the last couple of years. The problem is you can finish 30th in the league and have a chance at that top overall pick and not get it. So it's no guarantee. But Gavin McKenna is not the only guy, this year who you walk away with and looking at a player who could really carry you for 10 or 15 years. There's some other guys in that draft. So, not saying the Blues should tank, not saying that everybody wants the season to go south from here on out, but you could get a really good player if that does happen.
Do you think we will shut Cairo down until the new year? Also, is today a no-sock camo croc type of day or Western boot day in Jeffco? That's from Bishan about sports.
I'll take the Cairo. Chairman, you want the other one? Is this, what do you...
I'm out of Jeffco.
Yeah.
Wow.
He sold all his Jeffco stuff.
Chairman laying on the floor, distancing himself from Jeffco.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what it looks like in the other parts of St. Louis, but I do see a lot of Crocs. I see a lot of Crocs and socks. What else do we see?
Crocs are comfortable.
Yeah.
Hey, dudes.
Hey Dudes. Yeah. I think we broke down the Hey Dudes. And then as far as Kyrou, they're saying week to week, but they don't think it's that long. I think you got 7 games until the Christmas break. I would think he'd be shut down until then, I would think, unless he shows up and looks great and they can get him back in there. But I think that, it'd be after Christmas.
So we have the veteran Blues reporter, Jeremy Rutherford, in studio. And a text comes in that said, "Hey, can you ask him if the Peevely flea market's open, ready to Christmas shop?" So if you could handle that, JR.
Yeah, I haven't been to Peevely in a long time, but didn't they used to do a swap meet down there? So you show up at 7 o'clock and you can sell your Mexican baby doll for $6.
Oh, I bet that's a classy get together.
Clip that up. JR, the Blues at risk of relegation to the AHL, given that's already half their roster, and then they're unable to win hockey games. And number 2, it would be pretty Jeffco friendly, but will they bring back the hot dog gun or start dropping free Slim Jim coupons from the blimp to keep the fans coming, or maybe hold Mahomes hostage in a suite again when the calendar turns, since the Chiefs won't be playing? That's from Carlos Spicy.
Of course it is. They are at risk of relegation. There is a chance that they get bounced down to the AHL. I'm holding on to that story, though, Tim. I saw the success you're having with the freeze and maroon thing, where you hold it for 5 years.
5 years, let it ripen, Doug.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold that relegation story for a little bit and get that out, 2030.
I like the idea of a hot dog gun, though. But without the bun and the wrapper, just shoot the dog and try to shoot it in the fan's mouth, maybe. That would be entertaining.
Get that off also.
Would you eat it?
Probably if I was hungry.
Greetings, JR. This is Harrison's brother, Masters. So here we go. In your opinion, do the Blues need to trade one of Kyrou, Thomas, or Buchnevich to shake things up? Also, what is going on with Parayko? He's been flat out awful. Is it true that he doesn't want to shoot because he's afraid to hurt somebody? I don't want that kind of guy on my hockey team.
Oh, it's not his hockey team.
He shifted from 25 to 55 as far as
he kind of went old school with Colton Parayko.
Yeah, is this a fair question? The first one, the Kyrou, Buchnevich, Thomas, is a fair question from Harrison's brother?
Yeah, look at this.
Smokes. We got headlines.
He's in holiday mode. This is Harrison's brother, Master, in holiday mode.
I think, I think that they might have to. I think that you look at the situation with the 3 guys that you're going to lean on.
Would anybody take Buchnevich's contract on?
Well, it depends. He's getting going now, leading scorer since November 22nd. And I think once when he gets into a little bit of a rhythm, I think he's a player who could be worth $8 million with the cap going up for another team. Yeah, so, he's an option for some teams. Obviously teams would salivate over Thomas and then Kyrou too, even though, situation here in St. Louis always hasn't been positive. He's still a guy, 40 goal potential around the league. So, but the question is, will the Blues have to move on from one of those guys? And I think that they're going to have to do more to change the complexion of this team than just move out the Shens or the Falks or somebody like that when these contracts, come up here. So I think that it might take moving one of those top 3 guys to really change the look of this team.
Two-parter. Justin Falk and Braden Shen now have contracts that are favorable. What's a realistic haul the Blues could get for them? And second part, what's the over-under on trailers blowing over in the wind today in Jefferson County? I have it set at 12.5 right now. That's from Vizzini.
Do you have your trailer tied down?
It is, you have those stakes, that you use for the canopies, too. Yeah. You kind of take a rope and run it through the porch and then just kind of stake it down to the ground. So
yeah, that would work.
With those players, you talked about Shen and Falk, and that's why I say move on from them. I think that's what it's going to come to, because they do have some value. And I think that if you're a team, just like with Arenado, you got to move on and try to get something with those guys. I think they're going to be open to the idea of that. And what can you get for them?
You think so?
Yeah, I do think. I think Braden Shen could potentially be more open to that trade idea, and Justin Falk probably as well. And let's not forget that those guys had full no-trade clauses that are now knocked down to 15, 16 teams. So that's going to be a little bit different. What can you get for him? Look, there were a lot of teams that were interested in Shen last year, and you're talking about a first-round pick and potentially more. So with one less year on those contracts compared to last year, I think that there's going to be a pretty good return.
The previous question, the guy asked about Parayko, he's not really afraid to hurt somebody with a shot, and yet here we are. He's got 0 goals.
0, yeah.
Might be the hardest slap shot on the team. Plays as much as anybody on the roster. Still doesn't have a goal.
Yeah, it's hard to understand. I know that Joey Sat down with Colton. I think Joey mentioned this on one of your guys' segments. He said that he's talked to him, Curbs has talked to him, and he said that like they feel real responsible for the defensive end and the goals that the team's given up, and so they're trying to shore that up. And in hockey, that takes away from your offense. And even right now, they've gone to that man-to-man. They've gone away from the zone, and they're spending some time in their zone, and they're not getting into the offensive zone, which is where the shots and the puck possession and Parayko bombs come into play, and they're just not setting themselves up for that kind of success.
As fast as he is, and he plays on the power play, you'd think just accidentally,
yeah,
the puck would go in.
And we're not 15 games into the season, 30 plus games, so it's to see him sitting on no goal is one of the top things that's gone wrong for the Blues.
Hey, JR, do you think Thomas regrets signing the deal and being stuck on a dead-end team in a city that celebrates when Swedish furniture stores come to the area like the Pope is coming back? Doug, that's Al in Dadeville.
I like IKEA.
And he is getting ready for the winner of Ole Miss and Tulane with the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia.
Doug, are you like IKEA?
Kind of, yeah. Kind of.
Man.
You don't like it?
I'm not against IKEA. I'm against putting things together.
Oh, really? Yeah. You don't like the directions that come?
Yeah, and I'll admit this right here.
I respect that.
I'll admit this too. Probably a lot of friends listening who certainly know where I'm going with this, but I leave all that putting things together to my wife. So I'll be sitting on the couch.
What kind of a man are you?
Got my cold frosty one, and she's got the instructions and 40 pieces, 1A, B,
and
part C.
You make her do it all?
Yeah, every time.
You're a man's man.
There's not a bed or a desk or a picture frame that doesn't get put together by my wife.
The missus. This is a one-parter, JR. Who's Dylan Dubé? And is he the key to the Blues turnaround? They've announced they've added Dylan Dubé to the AHL affiliate. He's on one of those PTOs.
Yeah, he's one of the 5 players who was involved in that World Junior court case that was dismissed several months ago. And a couple of those players are popping up around the league. Carter Hart is a goaltender now for Vegas. He was involved in that. And
tell us what that was again, for those who don't remember.
Well, it was a situation where 5 of the players from Team Canada's World Junior team were involved in some mischief that went back to a hotel room that involved a female, and she made some accusations, and the case went to court in Canada, and they ruled that the case should be dismissed, and they were not charged in terms of post case, and I think that Dylan Dubé is a guy who was part of that, and those guys are looking for work, and so the Blues didn't sign him, but the Blues affiliate Springfield signed him, and that could be in part because they're looking for bodies, because the Blues are taking all their players with all the injuries up here. So not necessarily a Blues player at this point, but a guy that Springfield signed.
Bobby Bowe is in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, Doug. Former Cardinal. And Martin, his injury opened the door for Albert Pujols, if memory.
Yeah, that's a lat injury. Some kind of pulled some fat or something.
He says they don't have a second-round pick for the next 2 seasons. They better get some picks since the system's running on fumes. JR, how would you assess that?
Actually, I just got let's see here. We got a statement from the Blues on the Dubé signing. Since we were just talking about that, just read this real quick.
Sounds like you don't want to touch on the second-round pick situation.
No, let's get to it. I didn't hear the question because I saw this statement pop up. But the St. Louis Blues have signed Dylan Dubé to a professional tryout with our AHL affiliate following the process set forth by the NHL and its Players Association upon his reinstatement. This decision follows a comprehensive review of the details of his case and discussions at all levels of our organization. We are confident in the decision to offer the tryout and will provide the necessary support to ensure that Dylan contributes positively on the ice and to the community. So that's just part of it. But so that is... I said a second ago that that's a Springfield signing. Sometimes that's how it works. It's just Springfield that signs a player, but this is a Blues signing now, as they confirm.
There you go.
And what was your question on
the observation was in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat on the TMA STL YouTube channel, which was the Blues don't have second-round picks in the next 2 years, so they better make some moves to start acquiring some picks since the system's on fumes.
Yeah, no, I see where they're going, but I think that when you traded the O'Reillys and the Tarasenkos, and then a couple years later you made some more moves, you've acquired so many draft picks. Look, they had 9 or 10 players playing the World Juniors the past couple years, which is a lot. So they have a lot of picks, even though they're without those 2 second-round picks, Tim. Just there's a lot there in terms of numbers. Now, where the Blues are falling short is the quality of some of these younger guys. Not the Snuggeruds and Dvorskys, but some of these other guys just don't measure up to what teams around the league have. So the Athletics had them. You guys love the rankings, right? The Blues are 15, 16, 17 in that general area in terms of the prospects. So.
Logan Mailloux playing any better, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think since the call-up, he's been better. He's been on the ice for a few goals. Not always his fault, but yeah, been better since the call-up.
JR, working at the Peevely Flea Market was my first official job when I was 15. At the site of an old 2-screen drive-in movie theater, would easily bring in 400 to 500 customers every Saturday, Sunday. Much more than the Barnhart Flea Market. So there you go. Shots fired at the Barnhart Flea Market.
Well, did you get down to Peevely?
No, not as much as I would like.
No, he's like, yeah. No, I can't argue if this person really wants to, die on that hill that the Peevely Flea Market was the place to be. Yeah. I mean, personally, I went further north, Doug. I went further north to South County and went to the mall as opposed to.
Oh, did you? You really got out and spread your cheeks, didn't you?
Spread your cheeks.
Wow. What's this? I don't know if you need to dump out of that, Jackson. I'm not even sure.
Who was? I'm still baffled at the idea of driving north to South County.
Right. Well, that's what I was thinking the other day when somebody said, "Jax, did somebody say if I go as far south as Vianney, was that you?"
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, if I go that far north,
I know.
Doug's quoting prison movies.
Spread your cheeks.
I was going to ask you about Hugh McKing, but I don't know that I can now.
No, I wouldn't know.
JR, we always appreciate it. And you will be doing Last Minute Blues podcast?
Yeah, how about
live
that? We got one today, but then we got a live one coming up next Tuesday, the 16th. And I think we're going to be at Hot Shots Fenton. And we got Tony Twist coming out. So.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That's for Operation Food Search, and it's taking place at the Hot Shots Fenton Live next Tuesday. JR will be there with Alex Ferrario and Donnie Fandango and Tony Twist. You can get all the details on the live Last Minute Blues pod happening on December 16th at Hot Shots Fenton, now at 101ESPN.com. JR, we always appreciate the time.
Yeah, for sure. And hey, I traded text with spread your cheeks. I traded text with Mark Hanna, and I said, hey, do you have some social media? I could just put out your Twitter handle or something. And he said, no, we can't do that, but just talk about my hair. So if you guys could just talk about his hair,
his beard, his voice. Oh, Doug.
You talk about follicles.
Man, I'm telling you, 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreen-ws.com. The great Jeremy Rutherford. Thanks, JR.
Thanks, guys.
Miss anything on the program, you can go back and podcast it via the Schaefer Door Company podcast. Schaefer Door is Jason Gosrow's company. He is a loyal TMA listener. He has been advertising with the show now for a few years. Doug has worked with them, and many TMA listeners have as well, and rave about the quickness with which they get out there to fix your garage door. And when the weather is this cold, and it's going to be really cold this weekend, that's when garage door springs break. Go to SchaeferDoor.com. That's SCHAEFER door.com, or call or text 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door also handles commercial doors as well. Go to SchaeferDoor.com. Schaefer Door, a CHI overhead door dealer. We'll take a break, come back with more TMA 101 ESPN. Opportunity here for TMA listeners to make some money with Dr. John Canale in Psychiatric Care and Research Center. Dr. Canale has been conducting clinical research trials for 20 plus years. He's been in practice for 40 plus years, and he completed a psychiatric residency at Wash U, where he also served as the chief resident. He is now conducting clinical research trials at his office in O'Fallon, Missouri, and compensation will be provided to those of you who participate. So if you are interested in participating in the research trials, go to pcrc-stl.com. That's pcrc-stl.com. Compensation provided for both your time and your travel. And if you're in the St. Louis area, you're not traveling too far because the office is in O'Fallon, Missouri. It's Dr. John Canalian, Psychiatric Care and Research Center.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update. It's brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Illinois Fighting Illini get a nice win last night on the road against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Freshman Keaton Wagler with a hell of a game, 23 points for the underclassmen. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
I feel like this is in a mafia movie. You think it's Goodfellas?
I don't know.
It isn't Goodfellas.
And this is because it's Joe Burrow's birthday?
No, it's the theme is putting you in a good headspace.
Matt Forte's birthday, Susan Day.
Matt Forte's birthday?
Yeah,
He was a great fantasy running back.
Yeah, he was, you're right.
He used to catch a lot of passes in the backfield.
4th round pick.
PPR league monster.
2nd round pick. Take it back. Tulane.
Singing this, Papers.
The Harp Tones.
The old Harp
The
Tones.
old Harp Tones.
1955.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
To settle in.
Why would this have been in Goodfellas?
There's a lot of, there's like 40 different songs in Goodfellas.
Okay, sorry. I asked.
Mom's cooking something in the kitchen. You just kind of pull in. You're 40 years old. You live with Ma.
Yeah. She's making gabagool. Thank you, Jackson, for the Illini I mentioned. I know it was hard for you. That's from the St. Charles Illini.
Whatever.
We love the Illini.
I watched the whole game. I damn near the whole game last night.
On the road, buddy.
Rooting for them.
How were you able to watch the Blues game and the Illini game?
Simple. I didn't watch the Blues game.
Oh, you rat.
Oh, jeez.
I like that. You can call it a rat. There's a lot of good hoop on last night. UConn, Florida.
Well, you talk about BYU and Clemson.
Yeah, that I don't know why that was the first matchup of the Jimmy V Classic, but either way, the second game, the UConn Florida game, was awesome. In addition, Illinois, that was a good game. On the road, good Big Ten road win for the Fighting Illini. They're really good.
Giving Ohio State their second loss this season.
Yeah. Bright court, very bright court for Ohio State. Really visually assaulting.
Yes, I don't like it.
Yeah, I prefer the darker stained hardwood.
Yes, just a traditional basketball floor looks great.
Yeah, I do like their script Buckeyes thing, though, in the middle for Ohio State. Pretty handsome looking.
Like that Illini squad?
I really like the Illini squad.
You concerned about the bragging rights game?
Yes. If Missouri doesn't have Jaden Stone, they don't have a chance.
Article this morning in The Athletic. The Dodgers are thinking about making a blockbuster move.
What do you know?
Who are they going to
just got Edwin Diaz.
Because the one issue they had was the bullpen. They're like, all right, let's just grab Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, so they signed him to a nice $69 million deal. But then there is talk of more from Ken Rosenthal and Katie Wu, who is now covering the Dodgers this morning in The Athletic as baseball enters the final season of its collective bargaining agreement. What's to stop the Dodgers from doing more in pursuit of a third straight World Series title? The Dodgers know the next CBA will likely include increased financial restrictions with or without a salary cap. So why not lose 2 more draft picks to sign Kyle Tucker? And why not pursue a trade for Tarek Skubal? So
Oh, gosh. It's getting to be an all-star team there now.
What an effing system. Here's a poll question for you. Is this hot take radio? I don't know. What is worse? The college football system or the Major League Baseball system? Go.
Oh, I think the baseball system's worse.
Nice.
I think it is. Because you got a lot of teams in college football that could possibly win a national championship. A lot of them, 15 or so, would have a shot.
Also have about, 4 times as many teams competing.
Yeah. But you've only got a handful of teams in Major League Baseball, I think, that can outspend everybody else and get there every year. So I'd say baseball's more screwed up right now.
Really?
I would.
The Dodgers offseason always seems like the onion. Every time they sign somebody, Dodgers add Diaz. Dodgers might get Skubal. It's absurd.
It's so absurd. Whenever this is tended to, and I hope it is in 365 days, a little less than that when I anticipate, and I think probably everybody else who's paying attention to it anticipates a work stoppage. I think we will look back on this era that goes well beyond the Dodgers and going, what the hell was that? When baseball only had 5, 6 teams that would actually be able to go after free agents. And there were 25, 24 other teams in the league who just knew that they just had to sit by the wayside, and or they would develop players and then have to, like the Tigers. It's not like Skubal's a free agent. They just said it's a trade. But they're going, well, we might lose him after next year, so I guess we'll try to get something for him now. That's the mindset. And this isn't like, Detroit is Green Bay. you know, it's a big city. I know it was a disaster, you know, a couple decades ago, but it's experiencing a resurgence. I hope it is the muse for St. Louis. And they have a hell of a team, and now they're going to have to watch a Cy Young guy go out the door because they can't compete. You might have the same thing in the National League at some point with Skeens, with the Cy Young winner going out the door because they can't compete.
You going to wind up with the Dodgers, too?
Oh, man, it's just ridiculous.
How about the cute idea that Kyle Schwarber, hey, you might go to the Pirates or the Reds? No, Phillies are like, here, just have $150 million, even though you're getting up there in age. That's fine. Here's $150 million to come back and be our DH. Because the Phillies are one of those handful of teams that just seem to have a limitless supply of cash.
The Dodgers hit you.
Plowmaster this.
No, the Dodgers have a lineup. I think the first three guys are Hall of Famers. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman.
Yeah.
I don't know if Betts is a Hall of Famer, but he'd be close.
You don't think Betts would be a Hall of Famer?
I think he'd be borderline.
Really? I would think he's in.
I think he's got a shot at it.
Oh, definitely a shot, but I would just think that he would be. But maybe, let's see. Yes, Mookie Betts is widely considered a future first ballot Hall of Famer. All right. Sneezins, pleasins. Already boasting an MVP, multiple World Series rings, Gold Glove, Silver Sluggers, and at least elite advanced metrics, making him a strong candidate, even with several years left in his career. And many experts see him as a lock for Cooperstown. Yeah, it's just dumb. I don't know what else to say. But
Jay Jaffe does those Jaws rankings for Hall of Famers. It's largely respected for if you're going to make it to the Hall. It has Mookie Betts currently as the 8th best right fielder. Now we know he moves around, but he's already ahead of Hall of Famers like Reggie Jackson and Tony Gwynn. So his jaw ranking, Doug, is very strong.
Jaw ranking.
Career WAR of 75. That'll do.
Ooh.
That'll play.
Yeah, that's a tough 1, 2, 3 at the top of a lineup.
That's when Big Walt gave up on the Red Sox. They traded Betts. I'm out. That's it.
Done.
Gave up on the Sox.
I don't know how Brian Henson's approaching this week's Colts game, but he might see Phillip Rivers quarterbacking the team. Phillip Rivers was signed yesterday by the Colts. Doug, they'll be receiving 13.5 points this Sunday as they go and try to deal with the Fighting Sea Pigeons of Seattle.
What does that say to the other backup quarterbacks that you've got on your roster? That we think we're better off with a 44-year-old guy who hadn't played in, 4 or 5 years?
Phillip Rivers.
Riley Leonard of Notre Dame and Duke fame was their backup, but he has a knee injury. And so the next step is to go to the guy who quarterbacked you in 2020.
There had to be a number 3 guy. He got hurt too, the third guy? They all have 3 quarterbacks.
What year
at least.
is it? We've got Tim's 2020 podcast dropping.
That's right.
We've got Phillip Rivers making his return first since 2020. COVID's back.
Phillip Rivers has a daughter that is slightly older than Riley Leonard, who's the other option to
That's
start.
a good fun fact. That's a good fun fact.
Doesn't he have like a whole bunch of kids?
10.
Yeah.
Would he be the first grandpa to start an NFL game?
Yeah.
Oh, is that right, really?
Yeah.
That's a nice fun fact as well.
But George Blanda was playing when he was like 47.
Who?
George Blanda.
So you need so now I need to see what kids George Blanda had and whether they had kids when he was playing. I don't have the time.
Remember the year that he was making last-second field goals? Well, you guys wouldn't, but with the Raiders, when the Raiders were good. He had a year where he kicked 3 or 4 field goals right at the final seconds of the game, and he was 47 years old. But he had been a great quarterback earlier in his career, too, not just a kicker.
Never mind. Sorry. Brett Favre was also a grandfather.
And I'm seeing Steve DeBerg, who came in for Dan Marino.
Yeah.
He was a grandfather.
And Tim was Chris DeBerg who sang Don't Pay the Ferryman.
Yeah, and of course, Lady in Red. Oh, my, Doug. Lady in Red. 84, you think?
I don't know the years, Tim. Remember Kelly LeBrock.
Yeah, she was a Lady in Red, and in Weird Science. Am I right on that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Chet was the older brother who always picked on Anthony Michael Hall.
And who was Chet played by?
Bill Paxton.
Yep, there you go. Not Bill Pullman. He had the Independence Day speech, 1996, and that was Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum going into the aliens' mothership. Am I right on that? But smoking a cigar? Am I right on that?
I think so.
And Vivica Fox? Am I right?
I don't know anymore.
I think this is my fault, Doug, because we were talking about Steve DeBerg, and then I got us to Chris DeBerg, which got us to the Ferryman, and also Lady in Red. Chris DeBerg was born in Argentina, but he's Irish.
Is that right?
Yeah. Connie Wexford.
Well, parents could have been on vacation or something, I guess.
See, and then there's Steve DeBerg, who played for a lot of teams, 49ers.
Dudes be trying to push up on my wife. She bad. It's the game, right? That's what they do.
And he did not get a job this year. I thought he'd be on the
it got away from Syracuse after their quarterback got hurt. It got away from him. Yeah. But someday Jackson, Fran Brown will be coaching in the SEC.
For sure.
And it'll be wonderful.
That'd be great.
If you're Indy, don't you explore the trade market before you take a 44-year-old quarterback who hasn't played?
I think they just signed him to the practice squad. I don't think they're
But
plans
you wouldn't
this
sign
week.
him unless you were going to play him, would you?
Not necessarily. If you only sign to the practice squad, which I believe is the only thing they've done at this moment.
The trade deadline passed, Doug.
It did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
A nice show prep.
Well, maybe it shouldn't. Maybe it shouldn't pass in the NFL this early in the season.
Get involved. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design Air heating and cooling email of the day. Send yours in and compete against the greats. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. That comes your way at approximately 10:45. Send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency is a long-time TMA sponsor and Tim McKernan Show podcast sponsor. We'll be doing the podcast today on YouTube at about 11:30, maybe 11:40, Doug. I got the spread zone at 11 o'clock. And I got this email from a longtime TMA listener. Let's see, 10:03 p.m. last night. Dear Tim, if you could, when you're talking about James Carlton, please let the listeners know that I am giving him a 10 out of 5 stars. I recently bought a 2025 Honda Accord, and James reaches out on ways to trim up costly premiums. Insurance coverage same day of purchase. Never have I had a local agent that would respond after a matter of an hour for questions or concerns. I am glad you guys helped me find him. His work ethic is pedantic.
It is what now?
Pedantic?
I wouldn't hold that against him.
Pedantic.
I don't believe I've
That's
ever
from
heard that
Mark
word.
A. Durker. Pedantic? I think it's intended to be a compliment.
I think so. I'm going to look it up.
Jackson tried to pay Craig Rutledge a compliment here at Hubbard and called him
Ended up in
insatiable.
HR.
Yeah.
Pedantic.
I'm not positive that's a compliment.
I don't even.
Maybe AI led him astray with the email. Hell, I don't know. Either way, he had a good experience and then might have used an adjective that didn't work. Bottom line is James is good. We'll just say James is good.
James is good. And other reviews on other people are getting them from like Al Fornicola. This is a real person.
This is Mark Durker. I've met Mark. He's come to TMA events and been emailing in for years. James Carlton is online at carltoninsurance.net. And you can call 314-961-4800 to work with James. We'll take a break. This is The Morning After, 101 ESPN. Well, it is a rough time of year in a wide variety of ways. If you are tied to, man, I don't like when it gets this cold. Oh, the holidays are stressing me out with the expenses and all the commitments. I need something to look forward to. That's where Universal Windows Direct comes into play. They are helping homeowners beat the winter blues with a deal that's all about comfort, savings, and something to look forward to. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free with no limit. Whether you're replacing a few or doing a full home upgrade, it is a great way to stretch your budget further. Even better, you will get 0% interest for 60 months. That's 5 years of 0 interest financing, making it one of the most flexible payment plans that they've ever offered. And here is the bonus that really makes this feel like a gift: a free free vacation voucher with your project. Yep, you're improving your home now, and you'll have a future trip to look forward to later. So don't let winter wear you down. Call 314-334-2522 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today. New windows, lower energy bills, a future vacation, and peace of mind. That is how you beat the winter blues. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. John Candy and Steve Martin. Songs that make you feel good is the theme, Doug.
Okay, well, this is one.
You can't help but shake your head whenever you hear this song.
Boy, your head's
and
really
play
shaking.
the imaginary keyboard.
Right on the dash, cigarette hanging out.
Enjoying a dart.
What a great scene.
It really is.
You should review that on Movie Boy.
Oh, Martin.
Oh.
It's a sore subject.
Maybe include one of your castmates.
Sore subject. Yeah.
Keep it close to home. Keep it in-house.
The Papers is just tuning you out. I'm watching them tune you out.
Yeah, I've seen it. I know what he's doing over there.
Taking the bait.
By the way, that's the most red jacket I've ever seen in my entire life.
My guy Fred, Marie DeVilla, Senior Live. We had the Christmas tree lighting last Saturday.
The Wizard was there.
I was seated next to the Wizard and Jackie Smith, in between two Hall of Famers. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous. Great event, though.
That's kind of Georgia Bulldog red there. It's kind of that shade.
Oh, you for Georgia.
So I'm looking on the YouTube cameras here. And
is it triggering your epilepsy at all?
No, I can tell people might see it and think it looks a little orange based on the lighting, but I cannot. It is like the deepest of deep reds.
The camera's set up here, and I do think at some point we should be in a big old studio with big old cameras, but this camera hits me like the neighbor in Home Improvement. I'm just kind of I'm just appearing above the magic keyboard here on the monitor. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I just moved it, so now it's more focused.
Well,
although you have a little headroom, though. So you look, there you go. Now we're talking.
Right.
Okay. So the Blues suck again. That's from Blue 42 Set Pizza Hut.
Terrible.
What kind of name is that?
Terrible.
Here's the name I'd like for myself. Blue 42 Set Pizza Hut. Go on with your bad self.
Cut that off.
That's like
what kind of name is that?
That's a middle school fantasy football name.
Guys, fun fact about P's, T's, and A's. The snow at the airport was brought in from the arena from the ice cleaning since there was no snow when the movie was filmed. Of course, that scene was at Lambert. And really, Doug, it was a foreshadowing to the security guards who greet you when you come to pick up a family member or friend now, because Steve Martin was grabbed by his love and then tossed by a gentleman wearing a Mick cap like I oftentimes wear, Peaky Blinders. Tommy Shelby, Jackson, am I right? And then tossed into the road right there in Lambert, and Del Griffith nearly hit him. And was he driving a Chrysler?
I don't know what he was driving. I haven't seen that.
Convertible?
Had a big old trunk.
I did.
Separate from the trunk.
That's correct. Yeah, a couple
and they
trunks.
grabbed him because he tried to pick up a customer there?
Yeah, so now it's been improved. You just get yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes, we have a long history of berating and tossing.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, baby.
Patrons.
Put the bag down. You can't make me put this thing on.
And that was actually Larry was at the baggage carousel, had just returned on a flight.
He was there for 2 minutes and they tased him.
This texture is not happy with Blue 42 Set Pizza Hut. SFTFU Pizza Hut. They got 2 W's this weekend. How many wins did you get? So they're fighting.
They like to text against you.
Yeah, I like to text against you. The program is on YouTube. Type in TMASTL when you open the YouTube app. You subscribe to it, Doug. The goal was 6,300 subscribers this week. We are sitting at 6,310. Add to it. And then you're going to be able to watch, me, Jackson, and Iggy at about 11:30. YouTube.com/TMASTLQFTA. Any questions you have for me or Iggy or Jackson? TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. And then I also have a Hubbard email address, which you can just click on when you go to the TMASTL app, and you can email the hosts. And I don't know what my email here is. Doug, here's my email address on that. Tim.McKernan at TMASTL.com. Anybody want to give out any burner email addresses? I have a lot of AOL addresses that
I usually just email Doug at Doug.com. When the show's over, I complain.
Okay. I don't have one of those. Still thinking about getting yelled at Lambert. Last time I went, it was like Arlie Ermy came out, the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket. Somebody like that was yelling at me to move along.
We were all 3 there on the way back from Florida when the guy was waxing the floor at 1 or 2 a.m. and screaming at people to get out of the
giving some tourists some business.
Screaming at them.
Doug was getting yelled at from 2 different ladies in the rain, all of his luggage, incling the CPAP.
Right.
Rain's pouring down on them.
No
He's
one else out there.
On
No
the
other
phone,
traffic.
on the phone, 2 people yelling at him. Me and my dad saw it, and I go, just drive away. Just drive away.
It is unbelievable.
Just makes you feel good about being here.
Welcome to our town. Now go F yourself. Surprisingly good question, Doug, regarding the Colts making a trade instead of starting this Rivers cat. Trade deadline be damned. I'll have a list of possible trade targets on my Whisper page. ASMR Rapunzel 34, Colts. Thanks. And Anyong. That's from Brian Henson, who covers the Colts in
It
Indianapolis.
seems like the trade deadline's too early.
Well, it's week 16, isn't it?
So what? But guys are always getting hurt in the NFL.
Season's almost over.
Why would there be a trade deadline? Maybe once the playoffs start, you can't make a trade.
Doug's baseball trade deadline is October 1st.
What's the point of that?
Week 15.
Why would there be any trade deadline?
Well, why is there a trade deadline anywhere?
I think they probably fear that lesser teams will help
Existential.
a
More of
better
that at
team.
UFTA.
They probably fear a team going nowhere will do a favor to a team that's good and give them a player.
Accusations were made in our fantasy baseball league of people doing that, and you and Charlie Marlowe would veto the trades when listeners would make trades with me, Mark.
Yeah. You could really do that in fantasy sports. I don't know that anyone would do that.
Producer Joe has a trade deadline
in the
for us.
real world.
I bet he runs a tight ship.
He does. He does do a nice job. Great landing strip.
I had multiple wins this weekend, punk. I took the Baldwin beer bitch on a date to Baldwin Golf Course, and then we went to Mulligan's, and then I also met up with Doug and did something special with him. That's from Blue 42 Set Pizza. You know this guy?
No, I've never played that Baldwin Golf Course. Is that pretty good? Is that a decent
Jackson,
course?
I feel like you would know.
You've played many a high school
We've
match
talked
there.
about this. It's that Baxter Holloway split.
My brother lives right by it. It's for a 9-hole little track. Real nice.
Don't say little track.
Yeah, well, when it's not private, he
Yeah, it made it
dismisses
sound like, well, it's not Old Warson where I normally play. It's not Bell
Oh,
Reeve.
you play the Ryder Cup tees?
Yeah, always. In terms of 9-hole public golf courses, it's very nice.
Okay.
I've never had the wings from Mulligan's, and I hear tell they're the bee's knees. Any of you boys ever had them, eh?
No.
I've also heard the same thing.
God, I got to do that. It's just not close to where I reside, and unless I'm driving to Lake St. Louis, I don't leave a 3-mile radius of my home.
I'm eating chicken wings on the potty.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, here's
Has
the
anybody
wonderful.
really done that?
I don't think
Sure.
so.
I bet.
You couldn't put what? Why? You wouldn't put
Why
your
would you
meal
do
in-
it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is that so surprising to you that it's a question?
No, I'm
It's
just saying.
abnormal to eat chicken wings on the pot.
Or anything else.
Undoubtedly. But I'm saying.
You're downloading. You're not uploading anything there.
I don't think.
Again, Doug's back to spreading.
I don't think that it's people's first option.
Well, it's not a necessary option.
Maybe not the second option either.
You're saying they were mid-bite and like, oh my God, I have no choice but to run to the bathroom. Even then, you would drop the wing.
Yeah, or maybe you're settling in.
No, there should be no settling
in. Pot?
You're not settling
You just
in.
couldn't wait to finish the wing? There's no scenario where that makes sense. Unless you're at war and you're like, the only chance I have to get a quick bite before I go back into battle is to have this bite now.
Yeah.
Okay, then
And you look down the troops clearly.
I need further clarification. That was from a Gabe post-game?
That's right.
Good for you. Really. Good for you. I went up $400 on sports books this weekend. I'm so glad sports betting is here. That's from the 314. I don't know what that was about.
Maybe a text for someone else, but we'll gladly take it. And good on you for making some dough. Spend it wisely.
And Papers always says good on you instead of for you. But I like it. I approve.
Thanks, man.
Good on you.
Jackson was also rubbing my feet while I was eating leash chicken on the toilet. Leash chicken. What is leash chicken?
Lees.
Oh, maybe it was
like
a talk to
leased
text.
chicken. Like leashed chicken. Like I'm taking my 3 chickens on a walk.
Or
I don't rub feet.
You do your mother's foot?
I would offer it.
But you never did it.
I haven't done it in years.
But you have done it.
Rub my mother's feet? Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
But I mean, if somebody were to transcribe this show, and many people do, I think it would make it sound like you don't and didn't do it.
I don't really do it now. I have done it.
Right.
And I would make the offer.
Right.
Because it's a nice thing. Not weird. It's a nice thing.
I've got a little foot massager at home. I sit and watch TV, sit in a chair, rubs your feet for half an hour.
Yeah. You ever soak your feet?
No, I don't. In Epsom salt?
Yeah. That seems like a real old folk activity. We soak my feet.
Turn the clock back to 1850 and soak our feet.
And Doug doesn't change the light bulbs. He likes to sit back and have his feet massaged. This guy.
It's a machine. Nobody has to massage you. You just put your feet in there.
And you're too good to change a light bulb on that chandelier. I get it.
I'm not tall enough. I don't have the ladder.
And we still haven't found anybody to fix it.
No.
Change it.
Might get Biff on that.
Speaking of talking about whatever the hell pops into our heads, I have a question for the dais. What in the actual hell was with the Irish Country Club waitress in Caddyshack? It's jarring every time I watch it. Doug, that's from Arbor Day.
Well, how many times do you watch it?
We talked about this last week.
Yeah, we did talk about
it. The idea of it was when they wrote it, and it's actually funny. Today's Doug Kenny, who wrote Caddyshack. It's his birthday. The original plan was for the kids, Denny, D'Annunzio, who wears the most ridiculous golf outfit I've ever seen in my life, and the Irish waitress to be like the main part of the movie. And then they realized as they were shooting it, we have Rodney Dangerfield and we have Bill Murray and Chevy Chase. Let's maybe focus on them instead of the kids.
It took them a while to realize that?
Yeah. Well, most of them, it was Harold Ramis's first movie. Rodney Dangerfield had never done a movie before. They had only made the one Animal House before that. So they didn't really know what they were doing. And then when they realized that, the kid part got cut out, pretty much.
Can you imagine that if they had had all those big-time celebs and they would have had bit roles?
Yeah. We wouldn't be talking about it 45 years later if that was the case.
All right, who's the star of Caddyshack? Is it, in fact, Chevy Chase?
Yeah.
Is it Bill Murray?
No, it's Chevy.
Can you make the case for Ted Knight?
I think the movie is like hinges on Ted Knight playing what he does, but I think Chevy Chase is the lead. Certainly the biggest star on the movie.
Okay.
Iggy has Lacey Underall's phone number.
She's still with us?
No, she died.
Is that a second question problem? Well, then it makes it even less valuable.
The first question problem.
I forgot her name. What was her name?
Lacey.
Cindy Morgan.
Cindy Morgan, that's right.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, she died in 2023.
Usually, if Iggy has their number, unfortunately, they fall into the deceased category, unfortunately.
Does it do you any good to have dead people's phone numbers?
This is kind of an economy question. Are you stocking up on bananas?
Doug, more of that today at 11:30 on the TMA STL YouTube channel.
It doesn't do any good. They turn bad quickly.
Boy, do they ever.
Yeah.
There's a sweet spot
Maybe
for
a
bananas.
week.
Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day will be coming your way here on the program. It is the morning after, 101 ESPN.
Oh, the Christmas ham. There's nothing quite like it. And the holidays are all about getting that Christmas ham, putting something on the table that the whole family enjoys. And luckily, Schnucks is here to make that annual celebration more affordable, offering you the best price on Schnucks Spiral Sliced Ham since 2018. They're rolling back prices. They did this at Thanksgiving with the turkey. They're doing it with the Spiral Sliced Ham. So stop juggling the recipe. Start celebrating with a savory, perfectly prepared ham from the friendliest store in town. To get this deal, just need to make a $25 purchase, not including the price of the ham. Limit one per customer. Prices vary by store, of course. Also deals on the other items that you love to serve during the holidays leading up to Christmas. Be sure to check out the weekly ad so you don't miss out on any of those deals. The holidays are synonymous with the ham. Holidays are here, and fill up your plate with a Christmas ham from Schnucks. Head to your local Schnucks store today for all your feast essentials and savor the savings at Schnucks.
feel like these are the songs that make you feel good.
Okay, it's another good one. Peace Frog.
Play this one for you, Martin.
My favorite Doors song. LA Woman's right there, but Peace Frog. Woo.
Doug, are you enjoying it?
Well, I think it's a wonderful tune.
Is Ray Manzarek on the keyboard?
This is good traveling music. Walking around.
Where are you walking?
Just around town. Man about town.
Clayton, no doubt.
Yeah.
Sure.
Credits roll on the screen. Just Papers Presents. And there's just a wide shot of the city. Somebody's walking fast.
I like
This
that.
song's playing.
Doug, Ed Orgeron is being talked about for getting another coaching job, but I don't really know if it's going to happen. And he's, I guess he's like Jeff Pearlman's TikTok. He's down just airing things.
A little bit.
Is he talking to himself? So he's not a
He's
guest
being interviewed.
anywhere?
Who is he on with here?
Bussin' with the boys.
Bussin' with the boys.
Will Compton, Taylor Lewan.
Bonterra's best.
Indeed.
Here he is.
Let's go back in time a little bit. We've had a lot of SEC guys on here. They've never admitted it, but we all know that SEC was NIL before NIL.
Hey, you know,
I love that laugh.
look at
We're way past it. Can we now just admit it?
It's all good. Hey, you know what? I say, hey, Coach, you've been out of coaching for a while, and how are you going to adjust that NIL? I said, well, it's a minor adjustment. And they said, what do you mean? I said, back then, we used to walk through the back door to cash. Now we just got to walk through the front door to cash. Hey, a joke, obviously.
Yeah. Big time joke. Big time joke. Everybody watching, that's a joke.
I don't know if it's a joke or not. I doubt it.
It's so blatant. It's what we always knew. Come on, everybody just admit it. Back door with the cash. Now it's in the front door.
I don't see Coach O getting another job.
You don't think it's going to happen?
No, I don't think so. Maybe as like a consultant, which seems to be like the role they give people who are like, man, I like this guy. But
He seems more like a
definitely can't be a
sidekick.
coach.
More like
Yeah.
a sidekick than a head coach.
Yeah. I could see him relating to players really well and people being a big fan of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the way he left is probably best for everybody involved. Maybe not LSU.
Be great at the opening press conference, and then if people did a little vetting, they'd be, ooh. And then they would have to undo it the next day.
There's a
with
lot of
statement.
guys who win that press conference.
I love Taylor Lewan, but I am so sick of his mustache. That's American Essential.
Really doesn't like the man's mustache.
Seems content.
Gosh, I know we've kind of delved into a big random Wednesday, which is Winning Wednesday for us. But Cousin Nick, loyal listener, Minneapolis, now Atlanta. Did he move to Atlanta? I think so. He said Chevy Chase was the original drummer for Steely Dan. And I said, wait, what? Have we talked about that?
Seriously?
It pops up. He was the original drummer for an early version of Steely Dan, playing with the founders Donald Fagen and Walter Becker in the college bands.
Huh.
How about that?
Weirdly, it would have been a bad career move for him.
Yeah. How many people could say that? Hey, you could have been the drummer in Steely Dan. Like, thank God you didn't do that.
Right.
Good call. Good on you.
Good on you.
Good on you, Chevy. The program's called TMA. Martin, it's onboarding season, 10:03. Wednesdays are usually busy for you guys, I know.
Yeah, and we're a little behind.
Oh, no.
A lot of the year-end stuff, corporate floods the zone, and we've got to fill out a lot of stuff.
Brutal.
Floods the zone.
Chairman Kerr will be sliding into the dais for the 10 o'clock hour. Riz, Anthony Stalter, and I will be recording Spread Zone. We make picks, you pick the opposite, then you make money. That is now the model. And then Jackson and I will be live on the TMA YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/TMASTL with QFTA at about 11:30. You can send in your questions, Team McKernan at InsideSTL.com. This is the Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN. If you have not seen the jewelry department at Decor Interiors and Jewelry, you are missing out on the most magnificent selections of diamond jewelry that St. Louis has ever seen. I was in there last week, got a chance to talk with owner Joe Fredlick, and you will be in awe, especially for your holiday shopping. If you're thinking about getting engaged, check out Decor. You will find them online at decor-jewelry.com. They're located at Olive and 141. You will find an entire room filled with beautiful engagement rings. Pick from a huge selection of loose diamonds, and Decor will help you custom design the perfect setting that fits your fiance and your budget. When Joe and his buyers go to market, they look for the most unique pieces at affordable prices. You'll find incredible gifts in all price ranges. The experience, the people at Decor, and the personal service that the people at Decor offer gives their customers what really sets them apart. Visit them online at decor-jewelry.com. That's decor-jewelry.com, or at Olive and 141. Decor, always unique, always affordable. Open Sundays through Christmas Eve, 11 to 5.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Blues lose last night, off today. Back in action tomorrow as they take on the Nashville Predators. Pre-game at 6, puck drop at 7 right here on 101 ESPN. That was another Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Jackson's theme today, Doug, songs that make you feel good.
Put you in a good headspace.
Mm-hmm. It's TMA 101 ESPN. The show is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Brown and Crouppen is online at brownandcrouppen.com. I had Ed Herman and his son Brody in yesterday. Andy Crouppen comes in, Terry Crouppen comes in, and they're able to come in because they live here in St. Louis. They work here in St. Louis. They are committed here to St. Louis. Founded in 1979, it's Brown and Crouppen, the presenting sponsor of the Morning After. After an accident, money can be tight, and that is why they offer so much for free. First call, free. First consultation, free. Stuck at home or the hospital, they come to you for free. At Brown & Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and they don't get paid unless you get paid. Go to brownandcrouppen.com or call 314-222-2222. It's Brown & Crouppen. Make sure you let them know you heard about them on TMA. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord. We will have our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming up at about 10:50. Send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com and compete with the greats. Who is winning the month of December, Doug? Do you have...
I don't have those standings.
I got Marv.
Marv is winning. How many does he have?
Looks like 3.
3 wins from Marv.
And a little log jam with 1.
We approach the midway point for what is a short month in December, traditionally in our industry, with people vacationing in the Hamptons. I'm going to use Jackson's parents' place for about 4 weeks.
Are you?
Flying in a Teterboro and then taking the jet copter over to...
You might as well use it. You've owned that copter for years. You might as well get
it. Just
use
sits
it
in
once
New York.
a year or
it just
so.
sits in New York.
Right. Yeah, you got. Well, you should spin it every 3
Don't
months
say
or
spin
so.
it. Don't say spin it.
I'm telling you, you're going to want to spin it. Last thing you want to do is take that baby after 9 to 12 months of no use.
Yeah.
Not good.
Hey, Tim, tell Pale to come up to Drug Church tonight. Got a sweet little filly for him. She's getting off that ice currently, but we'll have some work done by that hot Dr. Brandon Pryor soon, so she'll be good as new. That's from the recovering alcoholic.
Getting off that ice.
What a
soon?
proposal.
Does she have a sister?
What a proposal. She's getting off the ice soon.
And it sounds like Dr. Brandon Pryor is going to be working on her teeth.
Oh.
So she'll be good as new, is what the text said.
Ice is what? Crystal meth?
Flip that off.
Not to put too fine a point on it. Well, that's an interesting proposition. I'll have to
Are you
consider.
interested?
Well,
Drug Church.
As Martin likes to say that I say, good on them for doing it, helping people out. Love that. Love that recovering alcoholic. But, we'll see. What we're going to do is we're going to see.
Okay.
Probably not going to make it tonight.
Oh, no.
All
Why
right,
not?
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
After she sees Dr. Pryor at 100westdental.com. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for what you would like us to do with you. Morning after at InsideSTL.com. Send those
Tweet
in.
that out.
This is TMA. Presented to you by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN. Hey, Missouri, if you have not heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that is tough to beat. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose, whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more. You can bet it all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement, because Missouri, it's your time to play with FanDuel. And now Jackson Burkett has a play. What do we got?
Pretty sweet deal they got going over on FanDuel right now. You get a 30% profit boost token to use on any future wagers for the 2025 college football playoff. So maybe you're thinking, man, the Ohio State defense is so good. Don't care about the Indiana game. They're plus 220 right now. Get that 30% profit boost, up that to plus 286. You can use that for any of the teams in the college football playoff right now with FanDuel.
There it is. Download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Here in the fan cave, ripping birds on the bat. Rest of the league, man, they can't handle that. I reckon Crew's gonna
I guess this is going to get you fired up.
Is gonna need another pitcher stat. 11-11, now it's 12-12. Riley Squirrel was last year, put him on the shelf. This year it's Matty Freeze, Craig, and Beltran. We've got the best ever, talking about Stan the Man. I go from the monster to the home run slide. Not wearing a card cap, just on the wrong side. Another World Series ring is all I wanna see now. I see you at Bush, man. Curtain call, take a bow. STL Cardinals, best fans in baseball. I've been telling everybody since I was this tall. Screaming loud in the cave, you heard what I said. All you're gonna see now is a sea full of red.
It's TMA 101 ESPN. It's also on the YouTube channel. We welcome you to go in there and talk it over. Ken Iggy Strode is in there talking to John Scores, MD 2020, and Percy Blumpkin, and Splashback Deuce, and Bill Reloaded, and Dr. Xander Malenthrop. They are all in there and talking it over. The Blues are coming off the loss last night. I was really hopeful and excited early on in the game after the Thomas Buchnevich first part of their 2-goal connection last night. Get 3 in a row. Now we got some momentum. Doug. Here we go. And then just a disastrous second period. And additionally, Bukestad gets hurt, so the Blues are now even more hampered by injuries. Justin Falk talked about that following the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a team game as a whole. It's not easy to take guys in and out of the lineup that are kind of everyday guys, impact guys, and when we're still trying to find our game a lot more consistently. So it's tough, but you know for sure that the guys that are coming in that we've had to call up and put in the lineup are hungry, and you know they're going to give their best effort and try and help the team as much as they can. So there's definitely no lack of energy from the new guys, which is always a good thing, and we just have to find a way to keep it going and find some continuity.
Okay. Continuity would be nice, I guess.
Don't give up.
No, can't give up. Too early to give up. But they do. It does feel like they need to do something, doesn't it? You got to bring in somebody who can score some goals.
I don't know.
You got to have some offense. They got nothing.
I don't know if that's the direction that they would go, though, because if anything, I think they're probably going to be trading. I mean, Jeremy Rutherford just said it an hour ago, that they're most likely going to be trading from one of the people who you would consider their scorers.
Well, if it brings in someone else who's a scorer,
I think this might be a scorer in 2 years. That's the issue.
Was there a question in there?
Yeah,
what the hell are we doing?
Okay, don't bark at us.
Let's see. Who will be the biggest disappointment? The Athletic just did their Gallup poll for this part of the season. And so far, the Leafs are the winner in their Gallup poll on that, the Athletic. And then Dark Horse Cup contender, Doug, the Blues are not listed.
Damn it.
Devils, Panthers, I don't know how that'd be Dark Horse, but Wild, Caps. Beware the Senators. Blues got 4 points from them over the last 2 weeks. And L'Habitant are listed. Surprise playoff team, Blues not listed there. First coach fired, Craig Berube, per The Athletic, is the second most likely coach to be fired. Andrew Burnett of the Predators is at number 1 with nearly half the votes. And this is going to be tough for Jackson to hear because you're so attracted to him, Lindy Ruff.
No.
No.
Who's the coach again? Buffalo?
How can you be attracted to him and not know where he coaches?
That's how attractive he is. He transcends hockey knowledge.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah. He does coach the Sabres.
In case anybody
It seems like he's been there a long time.
He's been the head coach since 2024.
Is that all? 1 year? He's been there 1 year?
He was there when Hull's skate might have been in the crease. And then he bounced around, and he's back in Buffalo. Yeah, I would imagine this will be his last stop before he and Jackson get a place in Naples.
Oh. Yeah, he was drafted by the Sabres in 79.
He played for the Sabres for a while.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Western Conference teams will make the playoffs. Avalanche get 100% of votes. Stars, 100% of votes. Kings, 100% of votes. VGK, 100% of votes. Wild, 96%. Ducks and Joel Quenneville, 92%. The Oil and the Jets, all the only other two with over 50% of votes. They are both 84%. The only one that's getting votes that is not those teams, the Utah Mammoth getting 44% of votes. The St. Louis Blues, 0%.
Oh, that's
0%.
hurtful.
Major surgery was needed to fix the Canucks.
Canucks also with 0%.
Well, those are just numbers.
Anaheim was terrible last year. Only had 80 points, finished well out of the playoffs, and now with Quenneville, they're a first-place team in their division.
Who will win the Norris Trophy? Bears tight end Cole Kmet.
Oh, nice. He's kind of getting cucked by Colson Loveland.
Doug, unfortunately, during Balloon Party, Jackson raved about the play of Cole Kmet when he was trying to talk about Cale Makar, and my God, did it activate the text inbox.
What the hell's the Norris Trophy again?
No!
That's top defense?
Clip that off.
It's top defense, right?
Top defense.
Then why not just say that?
Yeah.
Seriously, like you can still call it that, but then like in
The Norris
conversation
Trophy for defense.
right?
How
In
about that?
conversation, like it's going to be easier if you just call it that. You want more people to like your sport?
No.
Make it easy.
You think that has an effect on the likability of the sport, whether we know who James Norris was or not?
The history, just call it the defensive
All right,
player
how
of
about
the year.
this? Who is going to win the Jack Adams, Jackson?
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
What's the Jack Adams?
Who knows?
Is there a Lady Bing? Is that a thing?
sure there is.
And that's like for like not nicest guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Gentlemanly play.
Like a
Joel
Dartley.
Quenville, over 52% of the vote to win the Jack Adams. How
So
about
that's
that?
best coach. I'm using context here.
That's correct.
For what reason? Of course. Why would we call it best coach? Why would we do that? Why would we call it coach of the year? Make it easy.
What about the Calder?
What's that? Best skates or something?
No, best skates.
Is that rookie?
Best goalie helmet design.
Given to the player selected as the most proficient in his first year of competition.
Okay, so
Just say
rookie of the year.
Come on
Rookie
now.
of
Now
the
you're
year.
getting me mad.
Rookie of the year. Why is that? You can still call it that. The trophy can be the name. That's what the NBA does. That's what the NFL does. You can name the trophy after these people, but call it Rookie of the Year.
They are not happy right now in the area.
Because I'm right. Because this is what they're doing, projecting because they know I'm right.
Are you kidding me with this hockey conversation? The NHL has no interest in trying to make sure Jackson understands the trophies when he spends his Tuesday night watching collegiate basketball.
Yeah, I watch collegiate basketball. A lot of people were watching collegiate basketball last night, and the Blues. I'm just saying make the trophies easier to understand what they are.
TMA has the Arbor Day Award. We all know what that means. Grow up, Jackson. That's from Steven Dunn.
No, we use logic and call it best texter.
Jackson, Lindy Ruff's a little old. You're a freak. It's your break king.
Well, May, December romance.
Yeah, I don't see what you see in him.
In Lindy Ruff?
Yeah.
Doesn't he just seem like he could really just take care of you?
Doug, that might be the most appalling thing said in 21 years.
I don't know. There's something about him.
Are you a fan of the Art Ross Trophy?
What's that?
Top point scorer.
So is that different than MVP?
Yes.
Okay. That's like a scoring title. Okay. That's fair.
The trophies are older than the NBA and NFL, dork. That's from Dino Bravo.
So that means they should be ridiculously named because
Are you
they're
a fan
older?
of the Frank Selke Trophy?
Baseball has trophies older than all of them, and they use MVP.
He didn't answer you, Doug.
No, he just sure didn't.
What was the question? The Frank Selke?
Yes.
Who's that? And what is that award for?
Top defensive forward.
Top defensive forward.
Mm-hmm. You got to get back on D.
Okay. So is that top defenseman?
Doug.
Or is that a forward, who's good on
plays
defense?
good
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Holy F. I can't believe it, but I agree with this socialist. That's from the 314. There you go, Jackson.
Hell yeah. Join the movement. I just wish it was easier. Again, you can still honor these people. Just make it easier.
What about the King Clancy Trophy?
Yeah, about King Clancy.
King Clancy Trophy?
Mm-hmm. Suppose you don't like that either.
And that goes to what?
Leadership and humanitarian contribution.
I like that. But again, like it's like Walter Payton Man of the Year. See how they honor the person
I see.
and explain simply what it is.
MLB still calls the best pitcher the Cy Young, and most everyone who knows anything about baseball refers to it as so. It's from the 314.
Fair counterpoint. It's a very fair counterpoint.
But it's only like one trophy and not 15 of them that you got to keep track of.
And at this point, I think because baseball's been around for so long, Cy Young is synonymous with Best Pitcher Award.
I bet you hate the Prince of Wales Trophy.
Yeah, I think
the Prince of Wales Trophy
goes to the Eastern Conference champion.
They can for that. That's fine.
Okay,
I don't care about that. The President's Trophy. I know what that is.
Vesna Trophy. You probably know that one.
Goaltender.
Yes. Yes.
But you see how there's some hesitation. That shouldn't be a problem because you could just name it Best Goaltender, the Vesna Trophy.
But that'd be different than the William Jennings Trophy.
What does that go to? The
goaltender's
handsomest
on
one.
Goaltender on a team with the fewest goals allowed.
Is it often that the Vesna and the
you would think
William Clancy Wales Trophy are the same?
You would think.
It's called tradition. It's called honoring Canadian royalty, asswipe. Ever heard of the internet? Look it up so you don't sound like an unprepared dope on the public airwaves. That's from the battery-operated boyfriend.
Also fair counterpoint.
Speaking of Canada, and I'm in hockey rinks a lot because I still have a kid who plays. Almost every rink has a Canadian flag flying.
Yeah, it does.
And I wondered why. And do Canadian rinks have American flags flying?
I don't know. I get why like the NHL would have a Canadian flag because they have so many teams in Canada.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like a nod to the country of origin.
I guess.
Get them, Jackson. Hockey guys are the absolute worst. It's a mid-tier sport. They're 85% mouth breathers and mostly live in Jefferson County. Let's talk some NBA, a real sport. That's from Beer Cats.
I'm not siding with most of those claims. I'm not saying that. All I ask is make it simpler. Make it easier by just naming the trophies or naming the awards what they are, and then you can still honor them by having the trophy named after the person.
What the hell are the Bob Cousy and Oscar Robinson awards?
Right, but they used the title of, like, they used what it is, and then there's just a trophy is named that.
So you like the Rocket Richard trophy?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Top goal scorer.
Okay, I don't get it. Don't get it. That's just me, though.
Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. The Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today will be coming your way. The program's called TMA, presented by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN. Don't you like this one?
Yeah, this is fine.
This is songs that make you feel good, Jackson says.
This song is so good. Hosier.
Hoser.
It's the name of
Hosier.
He's a good Mick.
Really, really good artist. I'm really upset I missed him in St. Louis like 2 years ago.
I'm not over it myself. What'd you say his name was?
Hosier.
The ladies love his style.
That is true. Long hair, Doug,
Don't
tall.
the ladies love all the big time musicians?
I don't really feel like Moby was somebody that women were.
He was like super bald, wasn't he?
What are you trying to say?
Like no hair anywhere. Well, certainly places we could see.
Oh.
I got to explain that to my kids now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
I imagine
manscaping is something you should explain to your kids.
But most guys that star in a band or big time recording artists, they don't have any trouble finding dates.
It gives you a leg up, I would say.
Yeah, I would say.
Hosier's a loser. That's from Eric in the center.
There you go.
When you dislike everything, it kind of makes your opinion irrelevant.
Like Boy Who Cried Wolf? Is that what
a little bit. It's a little bit of that.
Man, if you or your family seen a change in you, not quite yourself anymore, struggling to focus, no energy for the people you love, put it this way, if your bedroom could talk, would it have anything to brag about? Could be you're getting older, or work stress, or the undeniable fact that we've all become our kids' personal unpaid Uber drivers. But could also be your testosterone calling it quits and you never got the memo. Mentality can help you change that. Check out mentalityhealth.com. That's mentalityhealth.com and reserve your spot today to get tested and find out your testosterone levels. It is not a tough process. It's very quick. The staff is very friendly. They are online at mentalityhealth.com. Coming up here on our Stiefel dossier, we will have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. BK and Ferrario at the top of the hour. Linda Sniffer with a siren emoji. How do I listen to QFTA? Well, if you subscribe to the TMA podcast, which is brought to you by Schaefer Door Company, it'll be in your podcast feed along with the David Freese and Pat Maroon interview.
Well, subscribe to the Tim McKernan show. That'll make it.
Linda Sniffer says, how do I listen live to QFTA?
YouTube.
Listen live. YouTube.
Yeah, youtube.com/TMA.
And then you can participate in the chat.
Bingo.
So that's coming up at about 11:30. I'm shooting Spread Zone with Riz and Anthony Stalter coming up here at the top of the hour. And then I'll head down the hallway, and I will be hosting QFTA with Jackson Burkett and our special guest today, Ken Iggy Strode. That Wayne Newton was a dish. That's from Dale in Grubville.
What period of
way back?
What period of time are we talking about with Wayne Newton?
He started, I think, in the 60s.
Yeah, for sure. But
as a kid,
like when was he a dish?
I don't know.
Because right now he kind of looks like a, no offense, Madame Tussauds version of himself.
He's had about as much plastic surgery as you could put on a person, I think.
You ever been Clayton?
I think he's maxed out.
I don't know what else you'd do.
Yeah, it's really wild.
He's got to be 80-something, right? And his hair is jet black.
83, yeah. Yep, hair is jet black.
He's only 83?
Yeah, well, if you put him in front of you, it'd be impossible to tell what age he is.
I think it was the 2013 World Series of Poker main event. I always find it a little odd that we do the national anthem before we start playing.
Really?
So you agree with me on that?
You're taking yourselves a little too seriously.
Well, I mean, I'm just there.
Yeah.
And then they said, ladies and gentlemen, you can please rise. And I'm going, we're going to do the national anthem? And Wayne Newton performed the national anthem.
That's the only gig you can get now?
What percentage
Singing
of the players,
before a card game?
What percentage of the players were not American?
It's a nice question, Chairman. If you were playing at a table with a lot of non-Americans, you were likely going to be put to the test. Doug, you know, the Scandinavians, they're a little more aggressive. So you just got to be ready. You got the hoodies with the headsets and the Adderall. Just adjust accordingly. So I would say maybe 15% to 25% not Americans. I feel like that's a fair number.
The residency for Wayne Newton's still going on at the Flamingo.
How about that, Doug? We can go out and see it.
Yep. Mondays.
How many times can you listen to Donkashane? Does he have any other songs at all?
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
Maybe we could get a little Donkashane on the next return.
You got it, brother.
Look at that. Email in. We'll have that Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming up here, and it'll be in about 10 minutes. Joining us on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. He was in studio with Jeremy Rutherford. Doug, tell us about Collier and Thompson, would you?
Well, it's the place to go in St. Louis if you're looking for any kind of a remodel. And Collier and Thompson want you to know that this stuff does take some time. You can't just show up on Wednesday and expect them to get started on Thursday. It's like going to a fancy restaurant or something. You go to a restaurant, a nice one, on a Saturday night at 7 o'clock. You don't just walk right in. If it is, it's probably a problem. Maybe the restaurant's not that good. It's the same thing with remodeling operations. They service a lot of homes in St. Louis. So if you want a remodel done by Collier and Thompson, you need to get in there, go in, look around at the showroom there on Manchester and Baldwin, get some ideas, talk to the designers, maybe talk to the owners, Bob Strati or Carolyn Beard, get some ideas, and then they will get started. The planning process does take a while, and the professional installation, of course, takes a while. So you got to give them a little bit of room, because when they do it right, and you're going to have a remodel that will last a lifetime. Collier and Thompson has been around since the 1950s. Their employees have more than 165 years of experience. They know how to get it done, and they do it right. You want to know who some of their managers are? Phil is the paint manager. He's got a staff of 5. They do an outstanding job painting. They got Matthew, the customer service manager. Stacy is the appliance manager. They've got pros in every discipline that you can mention when it comes to redesigning or rehabbing your house. They just do a fantastic job. AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. They won a Torch Award for their ethics. Collier and Thompson is the place to go in St. Louis if you're looking for a kitchen remodel, a bathroom, a basement, any part of your house that needs work. Collier and Thompson is the place to go. Again, they are there on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Come home to quality online at collierandthompson.com.
Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day next. 101 ESPN.
TMA is brought to you by Stifel, and for over 135 years now, Stifel has been a trusted name in finance, headquartered right here in downtown St. Louis since 1890. So what does Stifel do exactly? Well, pretty much everything money-related. Wealth management, check. Banking through Stifel Bank, yep. If you own a business, they've got a full-service investment bank for that, too. Basically, if it involves finance, Stifel has a solution for you. With 12 offices across the St. Louis region and more than 400 nationwide, Stifel combines local experience with national reach. Unlike many firms, Stifel isn't bank-owned. They own their own bank. That independence allows them to focus on one thing, and that's doing what's best for their clients. It's a philosophy that has made Stifel one of the fastest-growing wealth management firms in the world. Their tagline says it all, where success meets success, and that's why partnering with TMA just makes good sense. Stifel and TMA, where success meets success. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
This is Jackson with a SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The New York Knicks win last night in Toronto, defeating the Raptors 117-101. Jalen Brunson with 35 points. That was another SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Doug, they just announced I guess they just didn't do it, but it was in my Twitter feed, so I'm saying it just, I apologize. The Coach of the Year finalists in college football. There are 10 of them. Would you like to guess?
God, Cignetti's got to be there.
Yes. It's one.
Kirby Smart.
Yes.
He's always there. Ryan Day.
Yes.
Okay, if we're just going to go down the list of the top-ranked teams.
I mean, you're 3 for 3.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't.
Lane Kiffin.
No, I'm sorry.
He didn't make it.
Nope.
He took Ole Miss to an 11-1 record and didn't make it. They just mad at him because he left.
I can't answer that.
Because he would have to be a leading candidate to win the thing, wouldn't he?
Can I throw a handful of guesses out there?
Sure.
Well,
Dan Lanning.
No.
Interesting. Mario Cristobal.
No.
Very interesting. Rhett Lashley get on there.
Who's the Texas Tech coach? Joey
McGuire.
Joey McGuire is
He'd have to
definitely on there.
yeah.
Rhett Lashley's kind of a surprise player.
Kalani Satake.
No.
Bob Chesney.
That's correct. James Madison and UCLA.
Eli Drinkwitz.
No.
John Sumrall.
Although he would get an extension based on this year.
How many more we got to name?
John Sumrall is correct. Also, Jim Moore of UConn, but now he's with Colorado State. Jerry Mack.
Who's he with?
Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw State.
Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
Bike Elko.
Yeah.
And the only one we haven't said yet. Did I say Clark Lee?
No. That makes sense.
Tony Elliott.
Okay.
It's got to be Cignetti.
Yeah.
He has done one of the most amazing coaching jobs in the history of American sports.
You know what? That sounds like something Mike Greenberg would say on a slow day, but I think it's accurate.
Yeah, oh yeah. One of the losingest programs in college history, and he's got them undefeated. 2 years in a row, his record is like, what, 26-1 or 2 or something
if you
like
count
that?
the CFP, yeah.
Bob
Just
Chesney
incredible.
is so hot. That's from Eric in the Central West End.
Let's
Doug,
take a
what do you
look.
think?
I don't know who
Let's take a look.
While Jackson is looking at the appearance of Bob Chesney, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day. Jacoby Brissett, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Tanner McKee, Mac Jones, Spencer Rattler. Thanks, and Anyong. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Engine, a.k.a. Doug's foot massager, NFL insider.
He doesn't massage my feet.
He says that's quarterbacks the Colts should trade for.
Okay. Brian Hinchin.
I hit you with post-trade deadline quarterback options. Now here are some notable free agents. Jeff Driscoll, Jaron Hall, Mike White. Thanks, and Anyong. #1 Asian intern Brian Henson, reporter of Colts, massager of Doug's feet.
There has to be a better option other than a 44-year-old quarterback who's been retired for 4 years. There has to be something better than that.
What happens when he leads them to a Super Bowl?
Well, then it'll be a great story. How about someone who retired last year? There's probably someone who's 34 years old and retired last year.
How about Chase Daniel?
Isn't he a takesmith?
Yeah, but everyone could suspend their. Orlovsky was always willing to suspend his take smithery.
Unclassified. Hello, gents. Just testing the waters to see what does well for next month's big giveaway for this $10,000 HVAC unit from the boys at Design Air. My buddy Ryan in Cubicle AR3 thinks I could win, but it's going to be tough to beat Miguel Cairo's Egyptian linen store, Cardigan Bob, but dag nabbit, I'm going to give it a go. Don't let me down, Heim Bloom. I got you winning 50 games next year. That's from Flip Wilson, Unclassified.
Flip Wilson, Unclassified.
Hey, boys. Roses are red, sunflowers are yellow. Come over here, Doug, and kiss this fellow. Smooches, that's from Who's Your Daddy?
I didn't like it. Who's Your Daddy with a poor email?
Jackson's Socialist End-of-Season Rink Ice Hockey Awards. The Hart Memorial Trophy is for the valuable player to his team. Goes to every player because everyone is important and lives their own truth.
Oh.
The Vezina Trophy for the most valuable goalie, that goes to every NHL goalie because everyone tried their best with the team and specifically the defense in front of them. I guess my point is that, like it when Jackson guesses hat sizes. That's from Shooter McGavin, Vice President of the Lime Historical Society, now displaying Doug's Minnesota-shaped granola bar.
Shooter? No, I kept eating it. I admired it for a moment, and then I went ahead and finished it.
There isn't a better option, Doug. Shut up. It's from Brian Henshin, cover of Colts.
There has to be a better option.
It's like a Game of Thrones name, cover of Colts.
And finally, team, remember that stretch, now told like legend, when headphones were so scarce that hopping studios felt like navigating the Yukon? Supplies were thin, tensions were high, and a single pair of skull candies was treated with more reverence than a family heirloom. Podcasters spoke in hushed tones about the good headphones as if they were mythical creatures. People bartered, negotiated, and guarded aux cords like frontier rations. Hard to believe it all actually happened. Just remember how far we have come and how ridiculous we once were. God bless brokered AM radio. That's from Marv. You hiring?
Marv, you hiring?
That's who we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. What you got?
Well, there's not a lot to pick from today. I'll be honest with you.
Well, Brian Henshin gave us three choices.
Where was Buck Swope?
Did he not write in?
He did not. No.
Okay, because I didn't know if you filtered him.
Nope.
I guess I'll go with Marv. You hiring?
I mean, Who's Your Daddy's poem was okay, but Tim's iambic pentameter really elevated it. I'm going Who's Your Daddy?
Give me the cover of Colts, the breaker of news. Give me Brian Henshin.
I'll go Brian Henshin. Brian Henshin is one. The Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. All right, I'm going to do Spread Zone with Riz and Anthony Stalter. And then Jackson, youtube.com/TMASTL, and that's at 11:30?
Yeah, 11:35.
Oh.
I'm looking out for you.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it. Time for us to go. Email me with questions. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. BK and Ferrari are up next for Jackson Burkett, for Jeremy Kurt, for Martin Kilcoyne, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn. I'm Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on the TMASTL YouTube channel and on 101 ESPN.